Time's up, Admiral.
Here it comes.
By the power of Grayskull!
I am dumping unlimited power into you. That's what
All Shooty wanted to do was be inside me. It was one of the first James Bond movies I watched, so I have a bit of a connection to it. And
That's Dermot's excuse.
I don't fuck.
It was their first date, Adam. Shut up.
I will stop bringing it up. I don't give a fuck what that wannabe VTuber cunt wants to say. Okay, let me have my moment.
Dude, that's like a test of strength. That's not gay. That's like I'm gonna grip you. I'm gonna grip you harder than you grip me.
Imagine for a moment, if you will, being Adam's neighbor. You're sitting in your favorite easy chair. Maybe you got a cup of tea, and you're reading your favorite book. And out of nowhere, through the wall, you hear this: "Culturally appropriate my dick."
We named zombies after you in that game.
Yeah,
Rightfully so.
Yeah, I mean, they're these big fat bloaters that sun themselves and they just lay there.
Oh, those are the things that come out of my rainbow's ass.
And that is just.
Oh God,
those eyes, dude. Those eyes, man. Those eyes.
Pretty eyes.
I'm not looking at them eyes right now. You know what?
I know, but she is a total package. She is a total package.
I usually think Ryan. I usually think Ryan is very cringe when he says this, but she can shit in my mouth.
Whoa, Dermy!
Why do you have to ruin this?
What the fuck?
Why
Ryan says that shit. Fuck, Ryan says this shit.
If Ryan jumped off a bridge, would you jump off a bridge?
But you just
for her, yeah.
Would. Here we are worshiping this beautiful woman, and you're talking about German shit eating. I mean, come on.
Listen. I will drag my ball sack.
No. Listen.
100 miles worth
me.
of
Shut the fuck up.
Broken glass, salt, and lemon juice just
Jeremy.
to smell her farts.
We're not on your goddamn stream. We're on Adam's stream. We're
Wow,
supposed to respect the man's house. You don't take shit in his goddamn fridge.
I wonder what the championship belt would look like. Just like a big ass.
It'd be my penis wrapped around their waist. Come.
They warned us about people like you.
And to be fair, racist was Hitler. All right.
Well, as you said, it's been an interesting week, and I think we have to take a moment. All right, I want everybody to join hands. If you're next to Jeremy, you don't have to touch him. It's okay. Join hands. I want you all to listen to the Lord. I want you to thank Jesus for the saving grace of delivering us from the acolyte and from Halo this week. He reached down with his glorious touch and he moved heaven and earth to make sure we no longer have to suffer these sins. So I want you to say, praise Jesus, because the acolyte is filled with the demons that are reaching deep down inside and telling you, use that lightsaber as a penis. Realize that you can abuse your loved one and she will still love you. And realize that with Halo, you can enjoy that man ass. And when that man ass is there, when those cheeks are in your face, you can understand that his helmet is off and it's okay. So praise Jesus for leaving us these sins. Amen.
So where's Melanie back when we need her?
Oh, wait.
You're
a blasphemous
Reverend
Rabbi Adam.
I think there's a bit of blasphemy here because Jewish Jesus.
I think Reverend Rabbi Adam jumped the book that his people were starting with and went to the other book.
So that's the original thing of shipping. The problem is nowadays it is morphed into a weirdness where you have stans, these fake fans, who will take characters that have no reason to be in a relationship whatsoever, gay or straight, and they will ship them together to be in a relationship. And most of the time they want it to be gay.
A few moments later.
It's essentially
Hang
when you
on.
get somebody who
No.
takes individuals like D-Day Cobra. Okay, you see
Oh
Jeremy
God!
here.
Don't
No.
make them
And then they
kiss.
take
No.
Ryan.
Stop it.
No.
No, shut up. So
This
they
is
take
worse
I
than
swear to
you
God.
kissing
and they start
Ryan.
making fan
All
art of maybe Ryan bit. Wait, no, okay, this is Jeremy.
This
bent
isn't
over
going to take
and
away from you
Ryan
making
like
out
this.
with Ryan.
Let him finish.
Okay? Ryan like this or the other way around, and sometimes 60-90, and it's just a bunch of internet freaks saying these two should be together.
Beat down that Sauron.
Oh my God! He can't control himself, Ryan.
Thank
Okay.
There we go. All better now. Man, titties are the greatest things on earth.
Listen, I've said this before, I'm going to say it again. The only reason the world hasn't probably imploded is because of porn. Because you take away the porn, World War IV happens. We're going to skip over World War III. We're going right to World War IV. All right? We need release. We need relaxation. We need things. Whatever scratches your itch, whatever gets you going, whatever gets a rise out of you. As long as you keep it to yourself and you're not hurting anybody else, especially kids, more power to. I don't care if you're a goddamn furry. I just want to see it. But people need their release to stay calm, to stay relaxed. All right? You take that away, enjoy an actual revolution where people of all sides don't agree on anything, will come together and say, no, I'm not living under this world where I can't touch myself. All right? No, this is the reality we live in. It's just there. And as long as nobody's getting hurt, everybody's having a good time. Just because you are either a frigid or an erectile dysfunctional is not a problem that I care about. All right? What can I say? I have a way.
Holy shit, Adam.
You not seen that one yet?
Protect the
No,
porn.
go ahead.
I'm on board with this.
Good Christ. I didn't think I'd be coming in the middle of a sermon about the virtues of masturbation.
We were it was during the whole commentary between Goonergate and Kingdom Come Deliverance, and that one just went woo. Welcome to Mellow Mondays, where we celebrate our uniqueness. We have a good time. Hey, I have no shame. All right, I have no shame. Listen. Don't lie to yourselves. Anyway, hello everybody. We hope you've had a good Monday afternoon, evening, whatever it is, wherever you are, because it is still afternoon for some people. And we're here to chill out, have a good time. It's been it's been a federal holiday for most people, so a lot of people had the day off today. And I hope everybody's all right. How you doing, Devil? Okay.
Tired.
Yeah.
Just burning candle both ends.
Yeah. I can understand that.
Yep.
Yeah. Hey, Samuel, you had the day off, didn't you?
Yeah, government worker, 3-day weekend. It was nice. So,
yeah.
I spent the day catching up on some stuff. Couple of things. I'm a little irritated. So I started playing Jedi Survivor.
Whoa.
And I'm pretty close to the end of the story. And there's a section where it's forcing me to play a seer, which I'm not super happy about.
Mm-hmm.
And also, I recently rewatched 12 Monkeys, and I caught something that I had never put together before.
The movie or the TV show?
The movie.
Okay.
So, spoilers, but it's a 30-year-old movie, guys.
Yeah.
Get over it. At the end
There
of
were
the
actually
movie,
13 of them.
right at the end of the movie, when the guy with the virus gets on the plane and the woman he's sitting next to, right, and she says something about how she thinks that humans will be the next endangered species, and he goes, "Ma'am, I think you're right." And she introduces herself, and she goes, "I'm insurance." It never occurred to me that is the same lady who's one of the scientists in the future, and that she's there in the past, ensuring that Cole cannot change the future, ensuring that everything happens.
That's what he meant by she's in insurance. It fucking blew my goddamn mind. It was wild.
I like the TV show better.
I haven't watched it.
It's good. It's Terry Metalis, so it's really well done.
I watched it in the last couple of months. It holds up.
Yeah, I mean, I got it on sale, like 2 years ago, Black Friday for like, I think $20, $25 down from 50. So it was a good buy. I enjoy it. I've watched it all the way through 2 times now. My original run, and then when I repurchased it, and it doesn't fail to entertain me. I enjoy it a lot. How you doing, Drew? Drew, I owe you an apology though. Once you don't introduce, I owe you an apology.
Me?
Yeah. All right, I'll say it. I owe you an apology. I said some incorrect stuff on your show last night because I can't.
What did
do
you
math.
say?
I can't do math. Apparently, when I was ranting and raving about the Brave New World weekend take, numbers are right there in front of me, and the website didn't do all the addition, and I made the mistake on Roundtable, and I made the mistake on your show last night, and I'm thinking it doesn't equal 100, it only equals 88. But they actually hadn't added in the 12 million, even though it was right there. So I couldn't do math. I was ranting and raving. I apologize. I gave bad information on the show.
Well, they were estimating for Monday. They added the Monday stuff into a lot of those numbers, like Odin was saying. So
yeah, but I went back and I was looking at my own content this morning, and I'm like, wait a minute. It says if you add in the 3 days plus Thursday, it does equal the 100 they were talking about. So I'm a retard, and my own show, it's fine. But I was bringing bad information to your show last night.
No worries. Well, thanks for saying that. But they do some shady stuff themselves.
Yeah.
Because it used to be they're comparing it to Captain Winter Soldier from whatever 12 something years ago, and they're not adjusting for inflation. And the Thursday is a lot more showings. It used to be the Thursday preview was midnight. And now, then it went to like 9 p.m., 7, 5, and now it's 2 o'clock in the afternoon on Thursday is the first showing. And they count, like you said, depending on how they want to evaluate it and prop something up, they'll add all those numbers. And on a holiday weekend, they can play a little bit more too. So
yeah. So
what can you do?
Yeah, but how you doing otherwise?
Otherwise, I'm doing just fine. Enjoying my President's Day weekend, long weekend, I guess. So, but even so, I had like a ton of work to do. So I had like 3 meetings on this show and a certification class type deal that I'm working on for business. So, I'm still working on a federal holiday.
Yeah. I mean, when I was working in kitchens, federal holiday, what's that?
Yeah.
you gotta go in there. You gotta get on the line.
I was in the Army, and we got a 4-day weekend in order to go like 50 miles out or so or something like that.
Yeah, but so here we are. I hope the chat is doing well. I hope they're not all aghast at my behavior, but then again, they're used to it by now. It's okay. So hail out to the chat. We hope you guys are doing well. Hit that like button. Sit back and relax, because I think we have a fun show tonight. We got the usual nonsense that'll take us on tangents, but I do have one actual topic I want to bring up, but we'll save that for later. Let's start off with the fun stuff. And I just realized I don't have anything brought up because I was playing a video game like right up until the last minute because I hadn't actually played a video game in well over a week. So give me a second.
Highly professional.
I am professional. I'm the
well,
best.
This is a great time for me to prop up my show and endorse my show.
And also, you got a new channel, don't you?
Yep. Adam, yeah, thanks for being on our Pop Culture Patriots. I'll go back on cam. I'm kind of eating eventually for the first time, second time today. But no, Pop Culture Patriots. Basically, we go over box office, big things that happen in movies, in TV, in comics. In what else do we talk about? Reading, comics, reading, books, novels, and games. So kind of hit up everything when it comes to pop culture in about 2 hours. And we have on either 1 or 2 guests and keep it just a small panel. So yesterday was all about the Captain African American 4 Brave World Order, whatever you want to call it, Frankenstein's monster of a film. It's gonna be interesting as the weeks go on to see how this plays out. But no, it's a good show. Me, Tiny but Fierce, and Horny Alf are the co-hosts, and then we're gonna have some regulars and then some new people. We got some big names coming up that are willing to jump on the show. So Sundays at 7 Eastern, 654 is when we're doing it. And my new channel is right there, Physical Media Warriors, in my title.
All right, and I will make sure you had given it to me yesterday, but I missed it in the chat before we ended the show, so
Sure.
I didn't have it. So now I will make sure it will be in the description in just a few moments as we get to our first nerdy type topic. Once in a while, I like to put these things up, and whether it's movies, video games, tonight it's a movie, and here's this one right here. Let me zoom in a little bit, and so. The 80s and the 90s, so many great classic movies in the modern age. So many we loved, so many we have a good time with. And 1993, as I'm looking at it right now, had some good movies. So out of this list, what's your top 3 from this list? And I'll make it bigger so you get a really good look at it. There's some heavy hitters in this one, man. So many hitters. Devil, you want to go first?
Okay, what's the question?
God damn.
Falling asleep in class.
No, I was
Okay.
responding to something.
Which 3 are your top 3 from these big time movies in 1993? What are your top 3 out of this?
Oh,
list?
shit.
No specific order. No, I mean, this is rough. There's a lot of good movies on this list.
Yeah. Damn. Yeah. There. Oh God. Let's see. How many are like I think are exceptional? Oh, let's see. 1, 2, 3. Damn. Almost all of them.
I know, but you have to choose only 3. Devil. You have to choose 3. Come on, be a man.
Oh man. Tombstone. You have to take
Okay.
Tombstone.
Okay. All right. That is respectable.
Demolition Man.
Oh, you're a good man. I knew I respected you.
Oh shit. And then it depends, because am I taking it because of what it did for movies, or am I taking it because the rewatchability?
It's you.
It's just on my opinion. Okay.
It's just you. It is
then Groundhog Day.
Okay, all right. So you got Tombstone, Demolition Man, Groundhog Day. No particular order, just your top 3. Shitternet struck.
Yep. It got him.
It got him. All right, that means Drew, you get to go next.
Okay. What'd you say? Tombstone, Demolition Man, and what?
Groundhog Day.
Groundhog Day. Good one.
All respectable movies. I can't fault you for your choices, Devil. All right, go ahead, Drew.
Yeah, I mean, I just rewatched it on the way back from Orlando. Jurassic Park is still holds up and is so far superior than the other 2 Jurassic Park and the other 3,4 Jurassic World movies. So yeah, Jurassic Park for sure. And then, oh man, I'd say Sandlot. I shared that movie with my dad a lot. He was really into it because he grew up on it that time period and everything. So we watched Sandlot together in '93. I think we went to the theater. And yeah, I'm just gonna say Robin Hood Men in Tights, because that movie's nonstop funny. Like you can just you can go back and watch it too. So
you see, I find that like one of the weakest Mel Brooks movies, honestly, at that point in time.
Yeah, I mean, still good.
I mean, I understand it. Yeah, I mean, it is good movie.
Blazing Saddles. Blazing Saddles is far above.
Yeah, Blazing Saddles.
That's a little bit older.
Okay. Samuel has given his for the moment here. Demolition Man, Tombstone, and Jurassic Park in case the shitternet hits him.
Nice.
What's top left, Kaylee? Hang on, let me go back. I'm on a different window.
Yeah, what is that?
That is, come on, work with me.
Something Kid.
That's A Perfect World.
Oh, I remember that. That's a good movie too. I would have to really go back and rewatch it to see it in adult eyes. But
I think that's the only movie on this list I've never seen.
Yeah, same with me.
I remember seeing it once when it came out.
Yeah,
probably not in theater. I think when it came to VHS, I saw it.
Now, I'm gonna differ slightly from you guys. Demolition Man I love this movie. Demolition Man is fantastic. I'm then going to say I'm going to break for guys. I'm going to say The Fugitive. I love The Fugitive.
I do love The
It's
Fugitive.
such a good movie. And I also recently just did it for a drive-in, so it's really fresh in my head. Maybe that influence. And I have to say, I really like. Oh, you know what? Hang on. That's Values, not the first one. So I have my third one. I realized it says that's Adam's Family Values, the second one, not the first one.
Yeah.
I don't really like the second one as much. So now I got to choose a new third one because I was giving my third
Same
one
thing with
just-
Sister Act. I love the first one much more than the second one.
It's just yeah. All right. So I have to choose a new. No, I'm gonna go Tombstone. I'm gonna go Tombstone. Even though I do like Mrs. Doubtfire, it's just Tombstone is just it's Tombstone.
Yeah.
And I'm not usually a big Western guy, you know.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. You look at this list here, and with the exception of I think one movie, because fuck Philadelphia, fuck that movie.
Yeah.
I despise that movie because even though I know Liam Neeson is on the record saying he didn't want the Oscar that year, he deserved it. He deserved it. There we go. Well,
And Bruce Springsteen freaking singing the fucking song. Fuck Bruce Springsteen.
yeah, I hate that.
I watched
Awesome.
Schindler's List in high school. I think it was like a world history class or U.S. history.
I mean, it was a powerful movie. I had to end up seeing it twice. Once, with the family, and then once with a friend or something like that. And I mean, it's a powerful movie, and it was just an outstanding thing. And I remember Liam Neeson saying, I learned recently, like few years ago, actually, that Liam Neeson said, no, I don't want the movie. I don't want the Oscar. I didn't do this for an Oscar. I did this for the history, for the lesson, for the understanding, for the knowledge. But still, he deserved it because he was better in it than freaking Tom Hanks playing a guy who's got the high five in Philadelphia. I despise that movie. And also, Philadelphia. And now, I mean, we'll break a little bit because it's a little, I guess it's sort of topical. It's because of Philadelphia that Tom Hanks then became Tom Hanks. He went from being an average comedian in some decent comedies that were nice to becoming Tom Hanks, the dramatic actor. And then he is what he is now.
Pedophile?
Yeah.
Yeah. And going on TV this weekend and making an absolute fool of himself, proving that they are not reading the room. And you know what? Good. So yeah, but I would 99% of these movies, take out Philadelphia, these are all great to really good movies. Even though I also, and I'm on the record, we've done it on Drive-In, I do not like Nightmare Before Christmas, but I recognize that it is still a good movie. I just don't like it.
Yeah.
I just don't like it.
I could knock a couple off. The one in the top corner that I haven't seen. Maybe it's good. Maybe it's I can't.
Yeah,
say.
I can't comment on that. Yeah.
Free Willy, lame.
Yeah.
The second Adam Family, second Sister Act, both, like I said, since they're second, they're just not as good as the first one.
Yeah.
But there are some really solid, really good movies. Like I was between The Fugitive and Jurassic Park. That's why I was asking, like, the movie's effect on cinema, because Jurassic Park, you can't deny that was a massive leap forward with the CGI at the time.
Plus dinosaurs.
Dinosaur. Yeah.
And like Hocus Pocus, that's the one movie that you can actually flick, yourself to Sarah Jessica Parker.
Yeah, because her face doesn't look like there's enough makeup on her. Her face don't look like a foot.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Hell yeah. I would have banged
she
the
can
fuck
fuck
out
you
of
with
it.
her nose.
I don't care. I'd bang the hell out of that witch. I'd snap the other two sisters' necks and go at her like fucking. I know she's like mentally retarded in that, but I don't care.
She's mentally retarded because her grandfather was a horse.
I would ride her like Seabiscuit.
Giddy up, I guess.
Thank you for fresh clips. Thank you.
I remember when I was a kid and I saw that, I was all, I don't know who she is, but be my wife.
It's a push-up bra, devil.
I don't care.
Push-up bra.
I'll do push-ups on her.
I remember Last Action Hero being like the last Schwarzenegger good movie of that era.
I'm the famous actor Arnold Schwarzenegger. What the hell he says? I'm like,
what came after that one?
Oh, that was great. I love that.
Not much here and there.
Yeah.
Eraser.
Eraser's okay.
It's
It's
okay.
all right. It's all right. Well, I mean, I have it, but it was
It's no
part
Commando. It's no Terminator.
No, of course, no.
Yeah,
But
it definitely is on the downhill.
it's not bad. I mean, I've rewatched it because I do have it, but I didn't buy it for itself. It came in a 4-pack because I wanted to get The Last Boy Scout, which isn't Bruce Willis, Damon Wayans. I love that movie.
I love that movie.
Love that movie.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I feel like True Lies was Schwarzenegger's last good one.
Yeah, because then he did that one with Gabriel Byrne playing the devil, and then he did like the 6 Days.
End
about cloning.
End of Days was such a massive disappointment.
It was.
Oh man.
Yeah, I'd say I would say after True Lies, it did start going downhill, but I do
Batman
think
Forever.
Yeah.
Batman and Robin.
But I think I think out of all the ones after that really went down, like that one where he played the fireman whose family got killed, and that was oh god, just there's so many bad ones after that. But
that was delayed like 2 years too, because that was supposed to come out
9/11.
in yeah.
But Last Action Hero was good. I like that it played
so goofy.
humor at the action hero genre, and he was the perfect person for that, being that he's the biggest action hero we had.
He had a pretty couple of good cameos in the Expendables movies, but I think that's really about it. He was busy governing at the time.
Yeah,
governing. Sure.
Yeah.
Hey, honorable mention, Mrs. Doubtfire. I've been watching a lot of Robin Williams lately, like Patch Adams and a few other ones.
Yeah,
and man, like if you knew, his comedy was really dark and based, like especially for his time in the 90s and in the early 2000s. He was up there with like being as dark as George Carlin when it comes to like real society issues and stuff. And then going back and watching these movies now, it's like he played a really sad character, but he did it in a funny way. So even like Mrs. Doubtfire, they get a divorce and they're trying to figure out, and the mom won't let the Robin Williams have the kids. So he's got to dress. He dresses up like a woman. It's a comedy, but it's about a really tough topic.
Yeah, I mean, I've got it right there. It's on my shelf. I think I watched it 3 months ago. Is the last time I watched it. It is one of his best, and because, like you said, Robin Williams, and I've talked about this many times with Jed. He was a singular talent. I mean, the man could be funny, but then he could flip switch, because you just mentioned Patch Adams, and at the same time, What Dreams May Come.
Yep, very good one.
Yeah,
Insomnia. If you've seen Insomnia,
Insomnia. Well, that's where he's like the villain, isn't it?
Yep, he's a bad guy, and he's a kind of a twisted, kind of.
I mean, but it just, the man was incredible, and it is such a shame that his illness took him from us, because him, Minecrafting himself wasn't his fault. He had literally, his brain chemistry was messed up. He couldn't stop it. And
I don't know if I agree with that, but yeah.
Well, I'm gonna go with that, because that way I can forgive him for what he did.
I watched a documentary on him a couple years ago, I think during COVID, and it was like his family that was half of the documentary was like a film crew following him around in like the last couple years or what have you. So they were like really like interviewing him, like a memoir type deal, and then half of the documentary was after he passes away, and so it's his daughter, it's his ex-wife and stuff like that, so like telling a different side of the stories. And then they add his comedy in there, and then it's him telling he was at the same party that one guy died in the 80s, a comedian from SNL. Was it Belushi?
Oh yeah.
James
John Belushi.
Yeah, they were at the same party. It was at a hotel party, hanging out. Robin Williams leaves, and then later he finds out, he sees on the news that the guy passed away, and he's like, that's got to be fake. I was just there with him a couple hours ago, but it was real.
And, well, these guys, they tend to flock together. I mean, Robin Williams also knew Freddie Prinze Sr., who was, if I remember right, also self-Minecrafted. There was Andy Kaufman. He knew him. I don't know if he worked too much together with him or anything, but he did know him. And these are all amazingly hilarious comedic geniuses who were extremely unhappy. It's like, did you guys ever see the show The Magicians? Right, there's a point that they make in that show about how magic doesn't come from wonder; it comes from pain. Right? You might make the argument that so does talent.
Yeah, I think that's how a lot of humor works. Is you're really funny because it's a way to cover up what you're really feeling. It's it's easy to make other people laugh when you're hurting. Is kind of the way I feel about it. Because that's exactly how it is. There's so many comedians that they have drinking problems and they have these seriously, what's the I don't know. I don't want to say mental illnesses because maybe some of them do, but some of them it's just depression. Yeah, and
addictive
stuff.
personality, substance. They're okay being on the road.
Well, they're trying to numb it.
Yeah, but it does create a very funny person sometimes, but there is a lot of pain and a lot of stuff behind that with a lot of these guys.
Well, the key is they got to know what's going on with the common person. So they're on airlines, talking about how weird the airlines are and stuff like that. And in these small clubs, like they wouldn't be any good if they just stayed in Hollywood. So that the good ones traveled around and saw what real people are going through. And that's why, like, hopefully, with all the political stuff, comedians are the ones that are helping turning around. Your Dave Chappelle's, Joe Rogan, people like that, where it's like, okay, well, eventually we need to laugh at what's going on. And they're usually the first ones in line throughout all of history. Think, the jesters, the jokers, stuff like that. But yeah, it takes a lot to put themselves out there like that.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah. And it is a tragedy. And you guys mentioned it. I mean, these guys, some of it done to numb the stuff, but they played very hard. They played very hard.
They absolutely did, but like I said, I think that a lot of that was self-medicated. They were attempting to numb whatever it was that was haunting them. Like, not to wax too philosophical about it, man, but a light shines the brightest from the darkness.
Yeah, it was just a shame, and I see these lists they put up. Who would you bring back? Blah 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 blah, and people put him on there and pick one. And unless he's one of the ones that I always say, yeah, I'd bring back him, and like I would bring back those other like Freddie Mercury's always on there, and those types of talent.
Chris Farley,
I've seen that one too. I've seen the recent one too, and but I'm grateful that we have the content that we have. And that we have these great memories like Mrs. Doubtfire. Like I always bring up the fact that so much stuff from Aladdin, when he did that, was just him riffing. A lot of the stuff was riffing. The non-story points is just him riffing. And it's just the brilliance. I'm always just amazed at the brilliance.
Yeah, like you said, a lot of riffing on Aladdin, and I didn't understand all the behind the scenes that went through that. Mm-hmm. Robin Williams didn't want the genie, to be the main focus of it, and there's a lot of like I don't know what the agreements were, a handshake or written or whatever, but then Disney agreed to it, but then went behind later and then buffed up the title page and everything and made it all about the genie, and that was against what Robin Williams wants. So he said he wouldn't do any more movies. He didn't do the second one.
Eventually he came back.
Yeah, he came back for the third one, but that was it. He wasn't the TV show genie, and he wasn't in Return of Jafar.
Yeah. And well, Return of Jafar is actually it's like the worst installment of all of it. The TV show is solid.
Yeah, the TV show was pretty good.
Yeah. But you have to do the right watch order. They actually aired it out of order because there's season 1. And actually, season 3 comes after season 1, and then season 2. I only know that because I did a rewatch a few years ago, and I realized, oh shit, they're referencing shit that hasn't happened yet or already happened, and it was a little.
Why would they
disjointed.
do that?
I don't know. It was weird because what happened was
any producers do anything.
Well, actually, I kind of do. I can maybe have sort of explained it because the original show, the first season, second season aired on the Disney afternoon, but then for some reason, season 3 aired on CBS, Saturday morning cartoons. So I don't know the details or history. My guess is somebody had the rights somewhere in some agreement. And
mergers and acquisitions.
Something
That's
like
how
that.
it works. Contract law.
But all that matters is that when it comes to that whole thing, the TV show was really solid, expanded the world, and then you got the final movie, which really is almost as good as the original. King of Thieves is almost as good as the original.
Sean Connery.
Yeah. It's so good. And they brought back, and Robin Williams came back for it. Yep. And it made it all the more special. Because thinking about the first one has the iconic songs. Second one, Return of the Jafar, is terrible and no good songs. But the third one also has some really good songs in it too. So it gives an ending, an actual solid ending to the whole thing. It was great. I love
One thing we didn't point out though is look at all these awesome, excellent movies all came out in that 1 year, and now look at last year.
Yeah.
You can't even get a handful of movies that were decent to come out of last year.
And
it
sometimes
shows how quality's gone down.
You get people say this is good, but there'll be debate. Oh no, it's not that good. We're pretty uniform right now on what we think is good on this list. I mean, give or take. Sometimes it's opinion, but we can acknowledge we may not like it, like I said with Nightmare Before Christmas, but it's a good movie. I just don't like it.
I actually love Nightmare Before Christmas. Fuck you, but
hey, fine, fuck you too.
But yeah, no, these are mostly really, really great movies. Like we picked 3 because those are the 3 that we like the most. That's not disparaging any of the others or their greatness. Like
it's in Philadelphia. It can go fuck itself.
Oh, you know what? I actually never watched that because I don't care that much about AIDS patients. I guess I don't know.
Well, that was the period of time where I watched everything, I literally watched everything, and I didn't care. So
yeah, but you're right. There's nothing you can point to last year that stands out. Like the thing that the first movie that pops into my head that came out last year that I really enjoyed. Nobody else I know has fucking seen because it's a B movie. Called Slaughterhouse, about a sloth that mutilates an entire sorority, and it's hilarious, but it's like a really bad movie. So, and like, what I was watching last night I found a movie on fucking Tubi called Kung Fu and Titties. And you know what? There are
it feels like a
titties.
Movie.
There are a lot of titties in this movie.
Oh, you said titties. I thought you said kitties for a second. I'm like,
I would be interested in that.
Yeah.
No, breasticles.
Okay. That makes more sense. Okay.
Yeah, right. It is horrendous, but some of the dialogue's actually pretty clever and well delivered. But it's such a slow B movie, and the only other thing, the kung fu is hilariously badly choreographed, and there are a lot of bare-breasted women in this.
Then who cares about the dialogue?
Right?
Well, they could all be drooling and spitting the whole time, and I'd be like, "This is a good movie."
Were they fighting? Were they naked at fighting? Or were they just there?
No. So the plot is basically, I say plot, whatever. The story, if you could call it that. This dude's girlfriend gets kidnapped by some dudes from an alternate dimension because in the alternate dimension, the ruler of that dimension really loves titties, and his girlfriend has great fucking titties. So they're just stealing women from Earth. So he has to go over there and kung fu fight to save her. And there's just like the first thing he kung fu fights is a dude in a gorilla suit. It's so fucking bizarre.
Hold on, you're saying we were joking about the plot, but I love this plot, man.
It's kind of awesome. It's kind of awesome.
If I had an alternate dimension I was the king of, I'd kidnap titties too. I'm just saying.
Dude, in the first scene, guy just gets his ass kicked in a ring, and he's talking to his coach, and there's another guy in there oiling himself up for some fucking reason, and this chick comes in, takes her top off and starts rubbing her tits all over this guy's face, and then she calls him Francis. He's like, my name's not Francis. So she slaps him and leaves, and then he gets slapped by his coach. He's like, look, when a big titty beautiful woman starts rubbing her tits all over her face, if she wants to call you Francis, then your name's fucking Francis. And then he slaps him again. And then the guy who's oiling himself up comes around the corner and slaps him too.
Shit, I would come for the screen and slap him.
Dude, Tubi's a fucking gold mine for shit like this.
I'm gonna go find it right now. Excuse me.
Hold on there, cowboy.
Real quick question.
Listen, go ahead. What's your question?
I was gonna say, just I want to know, how many you coneheads would still bang Michelle Burke even with if she had that head for real?
God, I don't even remember what Michelle Burke looks like.
In the movie, I can remember
The daughter.
movie. Yeah, I can remember in the movie. I mean, she was
Yeah.
fit in the movie. Yeah, I probably would.
It's jokative because the movie and shit, but if she really had that deformity, that's some scary shit. But
You
damn.
say this, but you were
Deformity, she's an
talking
alien.
up fucking Sarah Jessica Parker not fucking 10 minutes ago, dude.
Yeah, and that's what
do
I'm
you
saying.
care
I'd
about the
still bang
deformity?
her. Exactly, I'd still bang her. I just put like a fucking like top hat on her and be like, she really likes Abe Lincoln. I wouldn't give a shit. I would.
You gonna put a fucking beard on her too, a chin strap?
No, that's where I draw the line. I'm not Dermy. But
Nope.
no, hell yeah, she was fucking smoking in that show. But no, it would have to be deformity because not really alien. But yeah, like if a chick really came at you with that forehead, normally you'd be like, "Whoa, what the fuck is wrong with you?"
That's a 9 head.
Yeah, that's like a 20 head. But damn, she was hot in that.
I don't know where we are anymore.
Insane.
I
can get around penis head if your body's that kick.
I don't know where to go from here. I feel like I have to end this one. I have dropped the ball. Yeah, okay, we're done. Pull the plug. Pull the plug. So I'm gonna shift to this one instead. Let's go gaming. Let me actually zoom this out a bit. Here we go. So in the same kind of vein, shifting gears to gaming. What game would you instantly buy if it got remastered and the gameplay was updated? I know my answer.
We're assuming that the remaster is of quality and they don't do anything to fuck with the story or anything like that.
There are since this is all we have. My rules are: it is a remaster. It's basically the original story. It's just a remaster, not a remake. So it's a remaster with modern graphics and maybe probably just upgraded gameplay to fit stuff like that.
Okay,
I have my answer.
Tell me if
Okay, me too.
Okay, Chrono Trigger. Chrono Trigger. Instantly. I'm front of the line. No problem. Mike, go ahead.
I would have to say if it were possible to remaster, it's not. There are certain issues with the audio technology that's just simply not compatible with anything that we have today with the original masters. But if it were possible to remaster and not have to recast everything, Blood Omen Legacy of Kain in a heartbeat.
Slay Victus. I only know that because I watched somebody else play it.
It's Ve Victus. It's Latin.
Ve Victus. It sounded like Slave Victus when I was in college watching somebody
Ve
play
Victus means suffering to the conquered.
All right. Correct my ass. Drew.
I would have to say, tell me if this could be done. I'm sure it can in this scenario, but GoldenEye for 64.
Yeah,
nice.
I've seen people actually use what was it? One of the engines with one of the games, and they used it and actually redid all of GoldenEye. I just saw the video 2 weeks ago of it, and it was awesome to see how they improved the graphics.
It was amazing playing through the
Far
whole
Cry.
Movie. Okay. Yeah, but yeah, the train scene, I spent days, hours trying to get out of that fucking train car for the longest time, and there was no internet. You couldn't, how it is now, and so you just had to try, maybe get the walkthrough if you're lucky for $10 or whatever at Funkoland, GameStop,
Funkoland
back in the day. But yeah, it was Funkoland for me when I started, and then the multiplayer was just top tier. 4 players multiplayer. It was amazing. The proximity mines, the golden gun, the DK mode.
You ever slap a proximity mine on the back of somebody's head?
Yeah. Yep. Yep. Fun stuff like that was just perfect.
Devil.
Let me think. Pong.
I hate you.
No, I can't think of there's games I would love to see them approve, but they're not that old and they're fun with the graphics they have, like Dragon's Age. original, I would be cool if they updated the graphics, but it's not that old of a game to me, and it plays just fine if I could find a way to play it as it is. So
yeah, it doesn't work for you, does it?
yeah. So I don't know. Like, there's a ton of games I could think of, but I don't know which one I would want most of them all. Is the problem I'm having?
Yeah, see, it's just really easy for me. I would love a Chrono Trigger remaster, just for modernize it, because it's such an epic game, and it started the whole era of new game pluses. I had never replayed a game so much in my life when I played that game back in the day. And at the same time, a close second would be a Knights of the Old Republic. That would be a close second. And I'm not talking about like the garbage they wanted to do a couple years ago. We're like, oh, we're going to
if they did a faithful fucking update, yeah.
All you need is just give it modern day graphics and update the gameplay. That's all you need to do, because you don't need to do anything else. Just lift the rest of the game, put it back down. You don't got to change a damn thing. Just, yeah, and that I would want that, because that would be great to play with. Let's just say modern day combat graphics or combat stuff like that. That would be fun. Like,
as long as they kept the D20 combat system, because I think that really worked for that game.
Don't make it an action RPG. Keep it like it was, but keep it nice. Like, I mean, KOTOR 2 was a little more advanced than KOTOR 1, but
right, but it ran on the same basic engine.
Yeah. So I could go back far enough, but those are like my top two. There's nothing else I can really think of that hasn't already been done in some way, shape, or form. Honestly,
God, I wish they'd given KOTOR 2 a proper fucking ending.
Well, I mean, what do you mean exactly?
I mean, like, you do the thing and you beat the final boss battle, and depending on what your choice is, there's like a very brief cinematic and then credits roll. Like, there's no cap on the story.
Yeah, I mean, you're supposed to go off and find Revan, but we learned later that Mitra didn't. She gave up pretty quickly and went back to the Jedi Order, and it wasn't until years later that she did go out to Dromund Kaas, where she ended up dying.
Sure. But I'm just saying that some of us shouldn't have had to get into ancillary materials in a fucking MMO to find that out.
I can understand your frustration, because you're not alone now. I mean, I'm the outlier that is fine with the book plus the Jedi Knight storyline and SWTOR. I'm fine with that, but I know I am like the small percentage. You're part of the vast majority that says just give me KOTOR 3.
Pretty much, yeah, which is what we were expecting when they came out with SWTOR.
Yeah, I know I'm in the minority, and I accept that, but I'm still going to say it's there. And you can play the Jedi Knight storyline for free right now. You don't have to buy the game or anything these days. You could play it and essentially get it. Now, of course, it isn't totally complete. You have to keep playing the game to finish part of that story later on. For the there's a lot of stuff beyond that. I mean, there's the Revan expansion. Then there's the what are they was called? The the Eternal Empire expansion. And then that keeps going for one more thing after that until it finally completes everything connected all the way back to KOTOR. It takes a long time, but the essential KOTOR 3 is the Jedi Knight storyline. That's what they told us.
I remember.
I know.
I was really into Force Unleashed. The first one.
Me too.
Yep. Second one was not as great. But yeah, the idea of the Force Unleashed, where it's Vader going after Jedi and finds the little one and trains him, and that type of deal, and all the things you go back and forth from the good to the bad and dark to light and whatever. Such a cool concept. That's what I wish like Disney Plus shows would have been, something like that, where it's like expand the story more, don't alter what we already have, like Kenobi did. I don't know if you guys were into that.
Oh, we ripped that one up. I ripped that one up.
Yeah, it was absolutely ridiculous. I tried hard to get through that fucking pile of shit.
No, that is the biggest example of, hey, let's take a line that has a specific meaning and let's torture it and change it to something else entirely.
Yep, little Leia, the boss, and then the Reva stuff, and Luke is you know, just this victim and stuff. And Obi's looks more horrible than he does in A New Hope in a way. But no, the point is, like, I wish we had video games, because you can do a lot more with a video game than you can a movie or a show to fill in these gaps, like the Ahsoka, all these things like in between, or even the Thrawn kind of stuff. If you did that in a really well done video game that has, you know, the cut scenes and everything, like, I'd rather have that from Star Wars than anything we're getting from Disney Plus.
Sure. You know what? You know, I slightly off topic, but I think it was in the second game. I'm a bit of a trophy bitch over on PSN, so I go after trophies and whatnot. And one of the single most fun achievements to get ever came from that game. It was called Sith Kicker, and you get it when you go to Endor and you drop kick an Ewok and bounce him off one of those big ass trees.
Oh no, that's awesome. Because the second one, that was like with all the clones, right? The clones of the dude.
I think later on, in the story, but it wasn't like right away.
Okay.
Because at the end of the first one, he was kind of on the run a little bit in the second, and had to make the canon ending, I guess. I mean, if you choose dark side in the first one, that's technically non-canon, but it's something like that. Yeah, it's been a while since I played those, and I played it on
that
like
could
a PSP,
still be like an
so-
extended story. It doesn't have to be exactly canon. It could
Right.
be if it's good, you know.
Well, Starkiller's got
Otherwise,
that
it's just like
got a
side
tragic story. Yeah,
Yeah.
Starkiller's got a tragic story. He does not survive the purge, you know. So it's that's one of the things I actually did like about those the side games, though, because they didn't take place in the main canon. They didn't affect anything in the main canon. And yes, you still knew where the main story was going, right? Follow the Empire and all that stuff. But this did cover that period of time where it talks about how Vader went after all of the extant Jedi in the galaxy, but they never talk about him actually doing that, right? I think the closest they got to that in the comic books was when Luke encountered Vimo Dabas on Nar Shaddaa, who was like this 800-year-old human Jedi who had known like Yoda when he was young, kind of shit. And it was her, Yoda, and Obi-Wan were the only known Jedi to have survived the purge, and they all went into hiding.
And then Disney buys it, and we find out there's 50 other Jedi.
Well, there's the problem.
around.
I mean,
50, hundreds. What are you talking
And-
Order 66. Like
that was the retarded thing about Obi-Wan, is that it made Order 66 a fucking joke.
Yeah.
It made it a joke, and it showed how retarded these people were, because my favorite thing that I pointed out when I was doing my reviews of it was, you know, when Obi-Wan's in Inquisitor Citadel, whatever the fuck it was called, Inquisitorius, whatever the hell that stupid place is called, and he's in there, and he goes down into the depths, and he's in this corridor where there's Jedi who are encased in amber, and one of the younglings is in there, and they're wearing the stupid youngling visor that you use for blind training, for force sensitivity training. And what I love is that they were so retarded in making that they thought that some sort of official uniform for a youngling. They're all always walking around in those little helmets, but they're just wearing that when they're doing drone, when they're doing
it'd be like a gas mask.
It's sensory training. It's not a uniform. So why would you put him in amber wearing that fucking helmet?
It's because they're retarded and they thought it was some Easter egg, right? They thought, oh, look, they're going to see it and go, oh, I remember those helmets, or like fucking retards.
Yeah.
And that's the biggest thing. I don't know why why don't they hire people that love the IP?
Because people love the IP won't work for them.
And like also, they don't love it.
It's a vicious circle. You know, it should be the other way around. It should be like hire somebody to go find all the people that would really craft something good, that they would make something that other people that love the IP would pay lots of money for.
But that's the problem, though. They don't want to do that. Star Wars became a vehicle for their agenda, which is so we have to create Reva, who's got to be diverse and has to be a girl boss, and has to then steal Luke Skywalker's agency. You need to know that he only lives and exists because she let him live.
Well, yeah, like imagine if they hired Adam. See, he would have this pesky problem of pointing out every time they fucked up canon and every time they step on their own story and stuff. So, and they don't want that. They want some man who's going to sit there and say, "Oh, that's such a great idea. Yes, black, transgender, one-legged midget. Sith, perfect. We love it." Yeah, they don't want someone who's
though. I get what you're saying, but it's just they're gonna get their paycheck and then they're gonna go off and do something else, and it's a resume builder. But if it's like the kind of the
they're
Oscar
not true
power,
fans
it's like,
to me.
why make billions when we can lose millions? Like they're like, oh, it'll do bad, but we'll get our paycheck, and they don't care that the IP goes horrible.
Well, then they're not true fans
make
to
a lot
me.
more money.
They want Dave Filoni sycophants is what they want. They want the people who are going
Yeah.
to sign on and do this shit
Yeah.
because all
And
that
that's what I'm
shit.
saying, do it as a video game. Like, imagine The Mandalorian as a video game. Like, I
would have
think that-
murdered Baby Yoda.
Yeah, can you kill Baby
There'd been a lot
Yoda?
better.
Kill Baby Yoda.
Can
It
you
would've been
shoot
more
Grogu in the
bounty
freaking-
hunter.
Yeah.
in Minecraft?
No, he's what do you mean Minecraft? He's a puppet.
I don't know.
If
They
they
might
won't-
be like, "Oh, he's
No,
talking about
we
shooting
can-
a baby."
No,
I
listen,
don't know.
we can say
I'd shoot a baby. I'm just saying.
I would kill Baby Yoda Grogu every time.
Oh hell yeah, hell yeah,
That little
dude!
green
There should be achievement for that, like finding new ways to murder that little.
He's a genocidal maniac. He wants to eliminate species so he can eat them.
I'd put him with the little egg canister. I'd shove him in there and close it so he could drown.
That's dark.
You wouldn't make him a Mandalorian vest or a Beskar armor?
A little
Chest plate?
beanie for my Veskar helmet.
Yeah, Beskar beanie.
Slouchy beanie.
If it moves, it's food. No weasel.
And then
No.
give him a tiny lightsaber too.
Oh
You
god!
like Az rip its head off.
Yeah, that's even dumber. In Book of Boba Fett, when it becomes the Mandalorian for the final couple episodes, and Baby Yoda Grogu has to choose between the Beskar chain shirt and Yoda's lightsaber. I saw immediately. I thought, how the fuck did he get Yoda's lightsaber, which was lost at the end of Revenge of the
I
Sith?
thought about that too.
There's no way Palpatine went down there and had somebody retrieve it. That thing was lost and thrown away. Nobody would have Yoda's lightsaber like 30 years later.
I'd keep it.
No.
Buy physical media.
Yeah. Yeah.
Buy Jedi media.
I would keep it as a trophy if I was, just
Yeah, and that's just another
You-
plot hole or something that they're like, oh, we'll just let the fans explain it away somehow.
Yeah, it's just,
Yeah,
it was so
it's
But
careless.
at the same time, I think he would get rid of it, not because even though he would like it as a trophy, they were trying to essentially eliminate the Jedi from history, and so he wouldn't keep around something that people would be like, "What is that?" And he would,
Yeah, I heard on some
so-
story, maybe it was a comic, that they were burning all these lightsabers, like they were incinerating them in the public.
Yeah.
They're showing that like Jedi are bad, they're evil, we're gonna destroy all their witchcraft.
Yeah, their
But
history.
here's the thing also, it's just like we talked about a second ago with the youngling trapped in the amber with the helmet on. This is another thing that these idiots think how lightsabers work. These idiots might watch a couple of things, realize they watch A New Hope and Empire, and they think that a Jedi is gifted their lightsaber, not knowing that a Jedi's final lesson, aside from the trials, is to construct your own lightsaber, that you have learned how to do it. And they look at the sequel trilogy and they see that Rey never built her lightsaber. She's given it the whole time. So, of course, they're going to make the Mandalorian and Grogu, and they're going to think that a Jedi is gifted a lightsaber. Their younglings and Padawans are given training lightsabers. I mean, yes, Obi-Wan had a lightsaber in Phantom Menace, but that wasn't one he made. That was one he's given. When you finish your trials, you construct your own lightsaber because it's unique to you. You put it together for your own fashion, your style, this and that. You make your adjustments to it so that it has cool things that it does. Like perfect example, Koran Horn, Jedi Master in the EU, his lightsaber is very unique because he can adjust the blade on the emitter, and in one instance it's green, but then he can turn it and it adjusts and it'll grow like half a foot and turn silver. So I mean, Jedi will do unique shit to their lightsaber to make it interesting and part of them. And also, you got to get throughout the shit of, oh, you find your kyber crystal connects. Kyber crystals are just freaking crystals. There's no spiritualness with it. It's simply an energy source. That's or it's that which you funnel the energy source through to create the lightsaber. And there's no bleeding of a crystal. That's Disney made up bullshit.
There's other stuff that they use besides kyber crystals. They're really rare, but you can use other things.
You can, and you can make a synthetic kyber crystal. Luke's lightsaber in Return of the Jedi, he's using a synthetic crystal that he made with notes he found in Obi-Wan's shack in the Jutland Wastes. He found notes there that taught him how to make a synthetic crystal. So you can make a synthetic crystal. I mean, perfect example. And spoilers, or now, when a certain I'll dodge around it. When a certain character becomes a Sith in the EU, he's lamenting the fact that I'm still walking around with my green lightsaber. I need to construct a red lightsaber like a proper Sith. So he says, when I get back, I'm going to go make my proper red lightsaber. No mention of bleedings. Oh, we lost him again. Oh, no. Okay, he's back on his phone. Shit or not?
I thought I could make it work on a computer. It seems to be working, and then it's the audio quality on my end. Like you guys are coming through like it's like needles in the ears and stuff. It's not your fault. It's not your audio. It's my
weather
system. So
is there weather going on?
Yeah, it's been snowing for like 2 days.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, you got weather. Okay, I forgive you. It's okay. I forgive.
Yeah. So it's gonna have to be the phone tonight. I ain't putting up with this shit.
No, it's fine.
Now,
yeah, it's all right. It's all right. We want you in any way we could get you.
Y'all hear that? Adam wants me.
We all knew it.
Yeah, all right. Listen, I admit it. I'm into tentacles.
I mean, who isn't?
You make us be into it. They're everywhere.
It's called Struggle Snuggle.
Oh God. I don't know why I put up with this anymore. Anyway.
Well, you wouldn't if you had toughened up as a kid, like say drinking tetanus out of a hose.
Yeah.
Freaking hose water, drinking again.
I'm gonna send you hose water in a mason jar.
You had
to toughen you up,
mason
man.
jar.
Yeah. Yeah.
What makes you think I'm gonna drink it out of the mason jar?
Cause it'll make you a man. Okay.
You put hair on your chest.
I have hair. I have hair on my chest. Plenty of it.
Yeah, but that's like womanly hair. You'll have manly
hair.
hair.
You'll have this. It's soft and you have it in a ponytail.
You get your fingers caught in this shit. It's rugged and manly.
You can braid it. You mean like a woman?
Yeah.
How do we get here? I don't.
It's already in a little landing strip.
I continue to be punished because I was given beverages wherever I went. I continue to be punished.
I like how he says that, like, "Oh, you guys shouldn't judge me. I was given beverages. I had to make my own beverages. I had to
we didn't even call
fucking
them
dig
beverages.
a well when I was thirsty."
That was fancy rich people speak beverages.
Yeah, beverages.
Okay, I'll say drinks. That make you feel better, peasant.
I had to walk around gathering.
Yeah,
dew.
the peasant comment's not helping your case, dude.
In the morning, I had to walk around gathering dew from like leaves. Otherwise, I didn't drink that day.
What?
You get high C's and shit. You bougie bastard.
Yes, I got high C. All right, fine. All right, I got high C, and it was delicious.
Yeah, we got off-brand Kool-Aid.
I got Sunny D. Told it was healthy. Was not.
Oh no.
Not healthy.
No, not at all. No. Hey, at least I wasn't. Listen, I wasn't a Capri Sun kid. Okay, there was no Capri Sun.
Disgusting.
That stuff was nasty as hell. That was nasty. I've had it, but it was nasty. It was not the choice. High C or Pockets. Hot Pockets came out when I was in high school, so it was like my choice to buy it if I wanted. And then I tried them a few times, and I just never found a flavor that I really enjoyed.
One time, I got a squeeze it. It
Pepperoni,
was called
Hot Pocket.
Christmas.
Adam's rich. Adam grew up rich.
He did.
Didn't like Hot Pockets. What about Pop-Tart?
I didn't like Pop-Tarts.
Holy shit.
I don't like
Did you even have a
Pop-Tarts.
childhood?
I had home cooked fresh food. No one's Pop-Tarting stuff. All right, how about this? I ate Totino's pizza rolls. Is that okay?
There you go.
Am I allowed to eat my
Yeah.
Totino's pizza rolls?
One time he found him.
He still ain't one of us.
Yeah, one time he found him in the butler's refrigerator, and he's all
Yeah.
like, "Ooh, I'll try these."
I like
know.
my
probably cooked
Totino's.
in the
I like
oven,
my pizza, my bagel bites. Is that okay? Am I allowed to like bagel bites?
I eat bagel bites. I eat
Too
pizza
Jewish.
rolls while watching the Wonder Years and like Saturday morning gargoyles and stuff.
See, Gargoyles was actually only on Saturday morning for the final season.
Oh yeah, that's right.
It
on
was
Disney.
on Fox
It used to be
Kids during the week.
Yeah, it used to be weekdays afternoons. It was on at like 4 p.m. my time.
But that
Oh, yeah.
final season was badass, though. It tied everything up. It
At
fantastic.
the end of the final season does the most of it's the weird journey that they take
Well,
through
they're
Arthurian
wandering
legend
around.
and shit. Yeah,
It's the quest of Avalon. I mean, come on. But it ended up giving us closure in the end.
I mean,
and it was good.
freaking Macbeth is one of the antagonists.
Yes.
He's awesome. Yeah, they did that show very well.
All I know is that the final battle, when Oberon says, "Okay, that's it. I'm taking your kid," and nobody can stop him. But then it's Puck. Puck is like, you know what? I'm actually going to fight you. I'm going to fight back now. And Puck just owns Oberon. That was just so cool.
That was good. Was it Beowulf? Not Beowulf.
No.
Odin.
There was
Odin. Yeah.
Eye of Odin.
Eye of Odin. Yeah. They were doing. They went to the
awesome.
Norse gods for that stuff.
Yep.
Yeah.
No, think about this.
catch
Here's
any
an
of the
idea
comics?
for you. HBO remakes the show. It's an HBO show like Game of Thrones, but gargoyles. And
They
pretty
are
much
doing a
show-
live action gargoyles.
Yeah, I just hope they do it well.
Kind
But
of
if they
hate
put
that
the money
idea.
into it like
I'm
a
looking
Game
it
of
up.
Thrones type deal, you'd have an amazing show.
You know, they did kind of continue the show. Marvel Comics got the license for it like back in, I don't know, it was like 1996 or whatever, and they did a short-lived line of comics that were actually pretty good. I think I have the first 11 single issues.
Okay. There's hope for the live action Gargoyles movie. Okay,
It's a movie, not a show.
It's a movie. Well, last we heard is movie, but this is from 2 years ago. But I don't know if it's still true. I'm going to do double trick. But this last reported, Branagh's going to direct it.
It was such good writing, good plot. Like,
Well,
the voice acting was great.
Branagh also directed Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, and that was kind of garbage.
But he's Branagh. He's awesome.
Here's the thing. The original
Was this the
Gargoyles
Thor-
was a movie too.
Thor one?
Remember, it was a movie that they did the
Well,
show about. The original,
yeah,
like 2 or 3 episodes were
yeah,
put into a movie
pilot.
essentially.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
So
called Awakening or The Awakening or something like that. Yeah.
I wonder if that's what they're going to do with this. If they're going to do a movie, and if it does real well,
Mm.
push it into a show.
Yeah,
But-
it should be a show.
Oh, it
Like,
should be a show,
like-
definitely.
Yeah.
It should be like Penguin,
The
like
master story.
Penguin or Game of Thrones or House of Dragon, like that Sopranos style. You know, put good money into it, good actors, and then you got something there.
Or now it's a show. Oh, I'm getting okay. We're getting different news here. Now
There's
it's
gonna be a
actually
lot
a
of
show.
changes, especially
Now
with
it's a
like
show.
what's going on with getting rid of EI.
Oh.
Hopefully,
Yeah,
Okay,
there's still
now
some
it's a
shit that
show.
worries me about that. Like with you,
Yeah.
the gargoyles themselves. Like how much is going to be practical? Probably very little. It's probably mostly going to be CGI. And unless Hollywood and HBO and all these guys can get past the garbage CGI they've been using since 2010,
yeah, they got to have a
That's
good
true.
studio.
right? Then this isn't going to work for me. It isn't. I mean, even it's like when Batman versus Superman came out, right? You get to Doomsday, and it's a goddamn cave
Oh.
troll, which meant that they hadn't progressed the technology in 15 fucking years.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
true.
yeah. Silver brings this up. Listen. SWAT Cats is badass. I loved SWAT Cats. Dun, 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 dun. I love that show.
See,
But
that's what they need to remake bad stuff. Like, do you remember Biker
Biker
Mice from
Bice.
Mars?
Yeah, I was just
Oh,
gonna
I
say
hated
Biker
Bi-
Mice from
I
Mars.
hated
Or
Biker
Street
Mice from
Sharks.
Mars.
Yeah,
Street
Street
Sharks.
Sharks.
Street Sharks
Like,
too.
nothing great. It's not like Ninja Turtles, but yeah,
You
some
get
like
Vin
Street
Diesel to
Sharks,
do Street
Biker Mice
Sharks.
from Mars.
He
Remake
would.
that nowadays.
Here's the only reason I don't want SWAT Cats. We live in a furry society now, and I don't want to give
Oh
those people
God.
anything. I don't give the
Yeah.
people be like, "Oh, Calico." Yeah, I don't want that.
Somewhere in the distance, Dermy started touching himself just because we mentioned
No,
furries.
also Cloud. I think
Tobias.
That's
Cloud
true.
too. Cloud's the one with the life-size Pokemon doll in his house right now. So, at least we think.
though. But the gargoyles thing like could be cool, but I think there's too many factors to have to line up for that to work.
It would be cool, but I have zero faith in that now. If
Like
it's a
we
Disney
don't
Plus
even know if
TV
they're
show,
going to get Keith David back to voice Goliath,
They
which
ain't
would
getting
probably
Keith
be a massive deal breaker for me.
Yeah,
I mean,
awesome.
Keith David is iconic. And
yeah, I just remember Xanatos when they go back in time and he flips the coin or he saves a guy's life, the prince or whatever his life, and then he gives him that coin. And then he mails that coin to his future self, kind of like Back to the Future 3, where and he uses that coin. I think he said it was only worth like $2,000 or $20,000 in that current time, but he turned that into $1 billion industry. And I thought that was like the coolest thing ever. So he's like, I truly am a self-made man through time travel.
And here's the thing, though, that voice cast was like predominantly Star Trek Next Generation. It was TNG.
Yes, it was.
You had you had Frakes, you had Sirtis, and you had Michael Dorn.
Well, Michael Dorn came in later, but yeah,
he was still there.
he was still there, and that's kind of also what worries me is because Cold Stone is one of the coolest antagonists in the series, right?
Mm-hmm.
But like there was a build up to him.
Mm-hmm.
Right, in the old thing, but I could see like modern people being like, "Oh, cyborg gargoyle, let's do it!" Fucking right out of the gate, and I was like, "Hey, no, you got to have the build up because otherwise it doesn't mean as much. He's just some fucking cool looking thing."
And then, do they have the balls to go through with it and have him purposely like lock himself down while he deals with his internal bullshit so that he isn't an enemy and he's Goliath's brother again? I mean, do they do that?
Yeah, they'll probably skip all the character development. Yeah.
What was the guy's name? Cold Stone.
Yeah, Cold Stone. Yeah.
Man, it's just it's. Listen, you know what? It's on the list of just leave it alone at this point.
Yeah,
leave
I know.
It alone.
That's where
leave
I'm at. Kind of with Goonies. All this talk about redoing Goonies.
Yeah, we talked about that yesterday. Goonies 2. Good lord.
They did some really neat small stories in Gargoyles 2 that weren't like part of the big epic, overall thing. The one that comes to mind is when I want to say it's not when Broadway. He's dicking around because he's been watching too many westerns, and he accidentally fires Elisa's gun, and it shoots her.
Mm-hmm.
Right, and him having to deal with the guilt of that and try to get her help so she doesn't bleed out on her apartment floor, which is really heavy subject matter for Disney Afternoon, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
That was a brilliant little story.
Yeah, and it's and are you going to be able to do the quality storytelling of having a romance that can actually happen, a gargoyle and a human?
Oh, I mean, they'll definitely include that shit. It's cross species, man.
But I mean, no, but do they? No, but will they? Listen, I know what you're saying. In the original, it's like they never crossed that line. But today they totally haven't crossed that line because they want that kind of sick shit. But it's this Gargoyles is a great show. I should do a rewatch. I really should.
Yeah, I'd be down for that. I rewatch.
I need to, but I'm still watching so many things,
because they had all the deception back then. Some people didn't like them, some did like them. Yeah, I liked when they went back in time. All those episodes were just golden to me.
Yeah.
The witch sisters, and they tie it up. We find out that pretty much all the villains were children of Oberon. Is that his name?
They tie it to
Midnight Summer's Dream.
Fae mythology is what it's very cool. They tied all the Fae mythology, which is very cool.
Yep. So Shakespeare.
Yeah, everything Shakespeare ever did was based on something someone else had said or told, or a mythology that had previously existed. So with the Midsummer Night's Dream, it crosses over into, as Adam said, the world of the Fae, the Quaili, the Seelie, and the Unseelie courts, and all that, which is like the world of the fairies, which is kind of where our world is, but not quite. So there's like crossover, and Oberon is the king of the Seelie court, and
then into Arthurian legend. I mean,
right? Yeah, but like with Oberon being the king of the Seelie court are the good fairies, and by good fairies I mean they're slightly less bloodthirsty than the Unseelie court.
But they will fuck with humanity.
Oh, dude, Oberon is famous for stealing firstborn children and switching them with elves.
Yeah.
It's like what he does, and no one ever sees those firstborn children again. They're just gone. Nobody knows what he does with them. Does he eat them? Does he bang them? What?
Turns them into White Walkers.
No.
They're just gone. And he's the king of the good guys in that world.
Yeah. See, this is type of stuff though that is fascinating, and back in the 80s and the 90s and the early 2000s was treated with respect when they would do these shows and incorporate this stuff. Now it's treated with disdain, and if they do it, they pervert it. They literally pervert it and make it into disgusting stuff where you don't even know what you're looking at anymore. And they change the rules to fit their ideology. I mean, I guarantee if they did face stuff, they'd say, "Oh, look, they look like a man or a woman. They don't know. Look, it's non-binary." I swear to God, they do it. They do it.
That's why we can't have fantasy right now, because they all just bring fantasy into the real world.
Well, we need fantasy to come from the independent sphere is what we need, like myself and others who have our own worlds we're building, creating, putting on book, putting on comic.
That's the problem is some people compare it, escapism, mythology into what's really going on in our everyday lives. And that's not the case. They're two completely different things. And some people's minds can't comprehend that. They think, oh, here's a story. Let's interject and insert ourselves into it and make this quasi hybrid whatever, where it looks like New York, but they're have weird species and they're calling this and calling that, and that's your gargoyles. And it's like, that's not anything. That's not real, and it's not fantasy. So just keep that stuff separate.
Yeah, it'd be nice. I would like to see some more like quality urban fantasy, so there's a author, I forget what her name is. Anyway, she writes a series of books about this British wizard who lives in like the modern times, like 21st century times, called Matthew Swift, and he does these things where, like, if he needs like a big boost of power, he literally taps into the power grid to power his spell, kind of shit. Like there's some really cool stuff you can do with like urban fantasy, but I don't see anybody doing it. They just want to like have little fucking gay interspecies romances and shit, and they ignore all the practical stuff.
Well, now you mentioned this. This is I was gonna say this when we switched to some video game talk, but it's a good transition for it about bringing in fantasy type stuff to modern day. Now we had PlayStation State of Play last week, and as I've been talking about past couple days, whenever it comes up, or since last week, usually whatever they show this stuff is not stuff that I generally care about. They usually don't showcase RPGs or anything I give a damn about. So I'm like the atypical person who just doesn't mean anything. But they did, out of nowhere, it's another Chinese developing company who managed to do better Western stuff than the West right now because they want to make money and they know it's going to make money. So there was a trailer for this game called Tides of Annihilation. Did you guys see this one? Okay. All right. So it takes place in London, where essentially the fantasy aspects of the Arthurian legends suddenly grab hold and transform the city, and you're a hot chick who's gonna get powered up and fight her way through it. So why don't we watch the trailer? And let's kill this right there. Hang on, wrong screen. And why don't we take a look at it and see what you guys think? Because I know that we are all somewhat sometimes into games like this, and I am curious about this game now. So let's have a gander. Hey.
No one knows how that world came into being. It devoured everything from the past. Only I was left.
The earth-dying male-gazing eyes.
Yeah.
That was a fatal mistake.
Actually did a pretty character model. I'm surprised.
Yeah. Well, it's China. They know what sells. Boobs, hot chicks, nice asses.
Not black people.
Oh, the racisms, they kill me.
It's the aura of the grail pieces. I can sense it. As long as it is reforged.
My wish can be fulfilled. But
Wishes come at a price.
To pursue one's wishes
Now this looks like
is to call.
Some of
not
this looks
just
like gameplay, yeah.
yeah, this looks like gameplay. This isn't just cinematic. This is gameplay in there. So I'm intrigued.
One's doom.
Yeah, it's gameplay. That's gameplay.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That looks pretty solid.
Yeah. Damn.
I'm getting kind of a Dark Souls meets Shadow of Colossus vibe here.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Shadows
Oh.
of Colossus.
Yeah, I mean, this feels like it's from what I can tell, it's going to be not Souls-like, but it's probably going to have Souls-like combat, but it's going to be hack and slash action oriented. I like what I'm seeing so far.
All that's pretty.
Holy Grail. Blood. This is a feast only for the king.
Gwendolyn.
Oh, hello.
Final warning.
Yeah, I don't hate what I'm seeing, man.
Yeah. Yeah, it's looking pretty good.
My quarrel lies not with you, but I will take back everything that belongs to me. Even if the price is my soul.
Tides of Annihilation.
Yeah, so I mean, it's Arthurian legend. Basically, from what I understand, that's too far. From what I understand, you are this chick, and you're fighting basically angry versions of the Knights of the Round Table, and you're going to either bring them to your side or take their powers. This looks pretty badass.
There's a lot of stuff involving water, and who I'm assuming is the main character / narrator here, or the voiceover here, and that leads me to believe that possibly it's the Lady of the Lake attempting to take Excalibur back.
I mean, they mentioned the Grail. They're collecting the pieces of the Grail so that they can make a wish, and she obviously wants to wish where this apocalypse never happened. Listen, this is. I think this is. Let's see. Is it going? This is. Oh, there's a little more. Ooh, there's a little more. Hang on. There's a little more. I thought we were done. Hold on. Let's finish it then.
The table is dead. It exists no more.
Well, I think that's Excalibur.
Well, that's the Sword in the Stone. Excalibur was the
Oh
one
yeah,
that came out of the lake.
Caliburn is the one in the Sword in the Stone. Yeah, you're right. My bad. Let's go.
That's fine. A lot of people get them mixed up.
You have
they
to
don't
actually
talk about the scabbard that Excalibur was in that protects the king's.
Well, that's why
from harm. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's why Arthur. That's the only reason Arthur dies versus Mordred is because he didn't have the scabbard anymore.
Yeah.
Because Morgana stole it.
Well, Mordred dies too. Like they kill each other.
They kill each other.
Battle of Hastings.
But if he'd had the scabbard, he would have lived. Because no mortal weapon could hurt him as long as he had the scabbard. You're right, Caliburn. Yeah, you don't know that there's Caliburn and Excalibur, and Caliburn is Sword in the Stone, unless you've actually studied the Arthurian legend, which I have studied. It was fifth grade, mind you, but I have studied it.
Honestly, the best crash course for that is T.S. Eliot. Or T.H. White, sorry. T.H. White's sort of narratization of it is probably the best crash course in Arthurian legend, because a lot of it wasn't written down for hundreds of years. It was told, word of mouth, and a lot of it is inconsistent, like a lot of Northern European stuff pre-Christian is. So, but yeah, you're right, though, that I never knew the name of the Sword in the Stone, but the whole reason that Excalibur happens is because Arthur breaks it in combat, and he has to go find a new one. And the Lady of the Lake grants him Excalibur and the scabbard and a couple of other trinkets that do other things.
Yep. I love the Arthurian legend. I always have. And before I decided to do my whole universe of books based on now what is my own stuff, I had a duology that I was going to write called the Song of Excalibur, based upon the fact that, because there's always the once and future king, because the thing is when Galahad. No, not Galahad.
That was Galahad's son, wasn't it?
No. Who's the final one left? It's not Galahad. It's I just
the only one who didn't lose his faith. I'm trying to remember which one that is too.
I know it. Don't nobody
Because
tell me.
Galahad is Lancelot's son.
Yeah, not Galahad. It's Percival.
Yeah.
Percival's the final one there. Percival is the last one alive, and he's supposed to throw Excalibur. The deal was when Arthur is dying, in order to be saved, he needs to throw Excalibur back, return it to the lake. But Percival 3 times won't do it, or 2 times won't do it. On the 3rd time, he finally does. And when he comes back, Arthur has been taken onto the boat, and the priestesses of Avalon are taking him to Avalon for healing, so that he will be healed and go into essentially stasis, so that when the world needs him again, he will return to be the future king.
Well,
and
specifically when Britain needs him again. But
yes. You know what I mean. You know what I mean, though. You know what I mean.
That time's passed.
My point is this, though. Most of the time when at least in my lifetime, when somebody's going to do the Arthurian legend, they just do the original story. They don't take it to the future. So I had the idea like 15, 20 years ago to do Song of Excalibur and do what would happen if we actually went to that point in time when Arthur was needed again. And my whole concept was that some sort of mystical event happens where the world of the Fae, which existed just out of sync with our dimension, merged with it, and it caused basically a worldwide EMP that just destroyed modern society completely, and at the same time unleashed the Fae, monsters, all that kind of stuff, and the world was done. But there was a whole reason it happened, because somebody a priest of some demon that I created wanted to take it, and it caused it, but it clashed, and then problem is, though, during the Percival, who was my story, he was made immortal because he made it to Avalon and would become Arthur's protector while his body was in stasis. Arthur's body was damaged, and in order to preserve most of his soul was sort of divided and sent into the reincarnation process, and it was reincarnated somewhere else in the world, and Percival was going to have to go out and find it. And then I was going to skip forward to the present day, where a young man who has part of Arthur's soul in him is now supposed to become Arthur, find Excalibur, and basically unite the world again and lead it away from these dark times. So that was my whole idea for it. It's not going to happen anymore because there's elements in that I've taken for myself, but I had an idea for that, and it would have been pretty cool. I was very excited to do that book, but I wanted, part of it was also the thing that I held off writing it because I wanted to actually go visit the sites of Arthurian legend in England. But of course, I've never done that. Now I don't need to because I'm not going to do it. But so I've always loved the Arthurian legend. It's a fascinating tale. I love what it means of hope and bravery and honor and all that kind of stuff. And it would have been great. And that's why this game is very interesting to me right now. No static. I'm not going to start the trailer over again.
Yeah. Well, there are a lot of things to take from Arthurian legends too. Like you talk about the hope and the bravery and the chivalry, but it's also about failure and evil and redemption and a host of other things. It's about fear. It's about love. You know, it covers the whole gamut of the human experience. And anytime you get somebody retelling it or whatever these days, you tend to get a watered down version because they only talk about the parts that resonated with them specifically, and not the fact that these legends were meant to resonate with all of us.
Yeah, I mean, I think if I remember correctly in my personal notes, I would have had all the knights be reincarnated too. Their souls are out there, and he would find them, and of course, then conflicting past memories, like his history with Lancelot. Can he trust this new Lancelot? Stuff like that. I would have worked it out, but it would have been all that tragedy you talk about would have easily been brought in. And can and as his memory surface, can he love somebody again? after being betrayed by Guinevere. I mean, it would have been great. It would have been great. So,
being betrayed by Guinevere, tricked into impregnating his half sister, having to kill his semi-immortal inbred spawn. Like the dude's life was kind of jacked up, and it didn't start with his life either, because if you recall, Arthur's parents weren't exactly consenting on both sides.
Yeah, Uther tricked Igraine. Uther very much tricked Igraine. And I mean, speaking of which, those in the chat remember it is chat choice, first quarter chat choice for drive-in, and one of the movies on the list is Excalibur.
It's one of my favorite retellings.
One of still the best Arthurian legend movie. There hasn't been a better one in 30 years. There hasn't. 30, 40 years. There hasn't. That movie is incredible. It doesn't get everything right, but it still stands heads and shoulders above every other version.
Do you like Merlin?
I don't. No, not really. I didn't like that miniseries. I didn't.
I never saw it.
They Romanized it too much for my taste in some
They
ways.
they did, but I thought it was still decent.
It was fine.
I watched it.
Yeah.
And
I didn't like it. They made it. I mean, I just didn't like it. I didn't like it. Hey, listen, it's better than that
TV version.
Yeah, it's better than that Merlin TV show. That thing was dog shit.
Yeah, I heard about that being bad.
That thing was. They race swapped Guinevere. They sped up the timeline. They did all kinds of stupid shit in that. I gave it a chance for the first season. I was like, no, I'm out. I'm done.
Yeah, I said I haven't. Anytime somebody's redoing the legend these days, they tend to leave things out or change things to suit whatever they want to say and not what the actual story's supposed to be saying.
Yeah.
And that's a that's a tragic trend these days. It really is. I would be curious to see somebody actually cover the fact that Merlin lives for 1,000 years backwards through time, or the fact that when he was in his youth, when he was but truthfully very old, when he had the vision that allowed Uther to become king of Britain, that involved the red dragon and the white dragon fighting, doing battle in the skies above. Like, nobody talks about those things.
See, I was gonna have Kid Merlin in my book. It was gonna be Kid Merlin with his body trapped in the crystal cave, and he's projecting himself into a younger body. That's what I was gonna do in my book, because I thought that would have been fun. Just have like an 8-year-old with the knowledge and power of Merlin, like acting. It would have been fun. It would have been fun. I would have enjoyed that.
Yeah, but you're right though. Excalibur is probably one of the single greatest visual representations ever made of it. It's a really good movie with solid fucking cast.
Oh yeah.
Epic fucking music. Dude, Carmina Burana, O Fortuna.
Dude, I have that Carmina Burana is incredible. I've even taken it, and it serves as a backdrop for one of the final moments in the entire saga that I've constructed. It's literally, now I have to find, I had a particular orchestration of it, and I lost it in computer file switch at one point. I have yet to find again. It has a particular beat and timing to it that is just perfect. But,
I used to have this mixtape from a goth club in Texas years and years and years ago, and one of the first tracks that it played on there was a kind of a house techno club mix of Carmina Burana, and it was awesome.
It's just so cool. When I was in college, I knew a couple of dudes. They were playing. I don't know what game it was. It was a space. No, I wouldn't say grand strategy. It was a space army builder game, build ships, and they each spent an entire week allowing them each other to build up a massive fleet of ships. And on a particular day, they got us all to come around, and we were all there, and they turned on Carmina Burana as they launched their fleets at each other. And this massive battle happened. I don't remember who won. I just it was a cool spectacle to have it happen.
There are only two pieces of music that come to mind for me when it comes to like epic battle scores that you could apply to almost any epic battle, and one of them is this track, and the other one is Flight of the Valkyries by Wagner.
I used to know a kid in high school. He was a little dink, and he was Norwegian. Well, he was Norwegian heritage, and at one point in time, Flight of the Valkyries became involved in something we were doing, and we would just start going, kill the Norwegian, kill the Norwegian, kill the Norwegian, kill him right now. He didn't like it, but we did it anyway. We were gaming in the library, playing Magic and other shit. So it was something we would do to like get in his head while we were gaming so that he would get distracted. And he wasn't very good, so it wasn't very hard. But this game looks cool. There's no, I don't think there's a release date on it right now. First extended gameplay footage. This was last week, so there's more to it. But I think this is cool. I'm very much on the. I'm on board getting this right now. My guess is this is probably, considering that they're probably this far ahead and they did it on State of Play, we're probably going to see this later this year. I wouldn't be surprised if this is like a holiday release, something like that.
Most likely, yeah.
Yeah. I'd be on board for this. I would stream this. I would totally stream this. That way Legatus can tell me to dodge better and all that kind of shit he loves to do. So
get good, scrub.
yeah. So I'm looking forward to this one. This should be fun. I like this. All right, we're good and warmed up now. I have a topic article I want to bring up here now. Let's have a little discussion. Although wait, no, actually, I got one more stupid thing. I cannot let this, since we are talking video games and movies a little bit, I cannot let this slide by without at least getting everybody's thoughts on the fact that they released a Minecraft toy that is essentially Fat Jack Black.
Oh yeah, I saw this.
I did see that. God,
I mean, seriously.
Yeah, the ego on this guy and whoever.
I don't know.
He has all this money, all this Star Wars, all this Goosebumps, all this money to do all this stuff, and he can't get a personal chef, personal trainer. Like that's what I would do if I won, the lottery. Is I'd have personal chef, trainer, all this stuff, and yet he makes an action figure out of being a fat ass middle aged dude who's a
that's exactly it. You're freaking. If I was offered a role that would pay me millions and millions of dollars, get to the gym. We know the actors can drop weight really quickly. Drop a couple pounds. His fat ass is just like, I'll do it as I am. Even though, like I said, what does that have to do with Minecraft? The whole thing is being blocked. How's that block? He's fucking round. You fat bastard. Lose a little bit of your fucking gut, you pathetic piece of shit.
I don't know who they think this is going to appeal to anyway. I mean, Jack Black is mostly known to older audiences at this point. Younger kids who are into Minecraft aren't going to know who the fuck this guy is.
Yeah,
and it just looks like Jack Black.
It's Jack Black.
Like
it's
the worst version of Jack Black. I remember him in Saving Silverman, and he was actually in the Cable
Jackal
Guy as well. Yeah.
You know, when he gets his arm blown off by Bruce Willis, that was his best role ever.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like the early movies were decent, and then they just went downhill when he went off the deep end.
I'd say it. School of Rock is a good movie.
Yeah,
it's
okay. I mean, I didn't hate it when I watched it. I mean, but here's the thing, though. You literally take it out of the box. Let's say it's 3 or 4 or 5 years from now. Somebody goes up to a garage sale. Some poor dumb parent bought their kid this for a present. And you're at a garage sale, and suddenly they open this up, or it's just sitting there without its box, and somebody would go, why do you have Jack Black as an action figure? No one's gonna know this from Minecraft. You're literally gonna say, why do you have a Jack Black action figure?
The kid's literally gonna choose the naked Barbie with all the hair cut off before it chooses that fucking stupid ass toy.
Just tell your kids, like Static's saying, just tell your kids it's Professor Savage, that action figure.
Good call.
Oh man, so I couldn't not let this go without a little commentary on it. But that being said, I do now want to bring up our topic for this back half of the show. I caught this one this morning and I thought, oh, perfect. I can bring this up tonight. It's a great discussion thing because we just talked some games and we have a lot of thoughts about Elon Musk and what he's doing here and there. Sometimes he does fun shit. Sometimes he does dumb shit. Sometimes he impregnates fake conservative influencers. And but then he says stuff like this. Elon Musk declares war on gaming industry, reaffirms plans to start a new AI video game studio to make games great again. let's look into this right now. So Elon Musk has once again confirmed plans to launch his own AI game studio XAI, doubling down on his mission to combat woke mind virus infecting modern gaming industry. Responding to a post on X that claimed XAI is starting to move forward with its AI game studio, Musk simply replied, yes, reaffirming his commitment to changing the gaming landscape. Musk, who has long voiced his frustration with the industry shift towards identity politics and virtue signaling, first announced these plans back in November 2024. As a passionate gamer himself, well, that's debatable. Musk has frequently criticized the inclusion of agenda-driven content in modern AAA games. From pronoun selection options to forced diversity narratives, Musk has been a vocal opponent of what he sees as ideological capture in gaming. Now, that's all true. At least what he's railing against, because look what we've had to deal with the past years now. Veilguard, Concord,
Dustborn.
Yeah, Dustborn, all these things that have had the agenda pushed into it and have failed, or games that don't have your pronoun usage, but you get Star Wars Outlaws, and it's on the retreat. I mean, they list right here: Suicide Squad, Kills the Justice League, all these things right here. Before we go forward, I'm going to ask this: do you guys think this is going to be a legitimate venture?
Kinda. I would say he just wants to put. I think he's putting them on notice and saying, "Hey, we're watching you. You know, or it's not going to be this garbage that you've been doing the last 5, 10, however many years, and so start making changes now." It's a big ask.
I think that anything Elon puts his money into, he intends on being a real thing. I don't think he's doing this for a joke. I think he sees an opportunity, a big opportunity. We've been talking about it forever and a day now, that the AAA freaking studios are dying. They can't sustain their bullshit, and they're falling and failing, and you have all these indie games coming up, and I think he sees a big opportunity. He sees a space where you can still have big AAA games. They just need to not be what they have been. They need to be good. I don't know about the AI stuff, because building a whole game around that.
Well, no, here's the thing. When it says AI, it means he's using it as a tool. It's a tool to accelerate the production for now, but I'm looking at it as a tool. I'm not going to go into the whole Skynet's going to be making games and then use the games to blow us up. I'm not going down that route right now. We'll save that for a different discussion later.
Yeah, that's more of a Matrix thing anyway.
Yeah. What I'm saying is this: I think I agree with Devil.
I've seen Tron. I don't trust him.
I agree with Devil. I think that if Elon's going to put it, he's going to go out like this. He's going to put his money into it. Whether or not you think he's a real gamer with the Diablo and with the Path of Exile 2 stuff, let's push that aside. I think Elon likes games. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, of course he's not. Like, I'm sure he actually plays these games, but of course he doesn't have the fucking time to jack his characters up like that. Dude's running 5 fucking companies, and he's assisting the goddamn president of the United States. He ain't got time.
And impregnating every woman on earth. Don't forget that.
Ugly women.
I mean, you know, for a guy who talks about the population crisis, he sure is trying to do his part. That's all I'm saying about that. But anyhow, no, I think you're all right. I think he's definitely intends to actually do what he says here. What that's going to look like, I'm not sure even he anticipates, but he certainly he's proven that he will put his money where his mouth is. So I have no doubt that he's actually going to try and push forward with something like this. I don't know if replacing a woke mind virus with a tech mind virus is any better, but whatever.
Right, well, he's going to talk about it here. So when Dogecoin creator Billy Marcus questioned how the gaming world became so ideologically compromised, Musk responded, "Too many game studios that are now owned by massive corporations at XAI is going to start an AI game studio to make games great again. Potential impact of Musk-backed game studio cannot be overstated. Much like his revolutionary ventures in Tesla, SpaceX, and turning Twitter into X, Musk could bring a fresh perspective to gaming. Leveraging AI technology, Musk Studio might produce high-quality games at a faster rate them blow to AAA companies. That's why I mentioned using it as a tool to get shit done. To actually, I mean, when we were talking about the rise and fall of BioWare a couple weeks ago, BioWare back in the day would get a game out every 2 years and multiple games every 2 years, not just 4 or 5 years between 1 or 2 games. And if we can get back to a point where you're not taking 5 to 8 years to make a single game, if AI is a tool that can get it there, I see nothing wrong with that, especially if the games look good and play well. I mean, that is, we reserve our judgment on that till we actually see it. But if that's what it would take us to get us back there, I'm all for that. So if he's going to replace it, and he says like right there, it says it takes 5 to 10 years to release a single title, it could mark a substantially forward in AI adoption within the gaming industry, potentially triggering an industry-wide shift. And that's what Devil said a minute ago. We've been talking about the fact that for a year, we've been talking about this for a year now on this show and on other streams. The gaming industry is, part of it is collapsing. AAA is collapsing. They make these dog shit games. We just talked about the list of these woke, infected, cancerous games that don't want to actually play a game, but want to beat you over the head with their agenda.
Including the one I'm playing right now.
Yeah. Jedi Survivor. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, the games play well, but they're not really.
Yeah.
The
gameplay is great, but
yeah,
it's got is a lot of push for how awesome the High Republic was over everything else.
Oh, yeah. I mean, and it's like I said, Spider-Man 2, gameplay 10 out of 10. Rest of it, dog shit. Dog shit. Game can play great, but if the story of the characters suck, what's the goddamn point? So you got this right here, and if he sees it, like Devil said, if he sees that this shit's going to be crap, and he's looking at probably these AA, single A dudes who are with their very little, let's just say, funding, able to put out these quality games, at least in terms of story and character work, what would happen if he decided to invest in them, with his be the tent pole to give these guys a chance to be the publisher for what they want to do? Imagine what these hungry AA developers could do with Elon AAA, well, let's just say quadruple A money, because Elon would be quadruple A money, not just triple A money, quadruple A money, saying, here, bring that passion of the game you're making now and put it out and make gaming great again. That Elon, like Devil said, Elon sees that. And I think I welcome this chance. I'm not saying it's going to work. I welcome this opportunity to bring gaming back to where it was, not just 10 years ago, but I want to say 20 years ago at this point, mid 2000s. That's what I think. This could be a possibility. What do you guys think about that, Ben?
I kind of agree with your assessment. I think I would go back further than the mid 2000s. I would probably put it to the late 90s. I think. Just while graphically and in terms of like by processing speed and all of that stuff, frames per second, all of that improved down the road. I think in terms of like writing good games and gameplay that was fun and engaging, regardless of what it was, you're not going to beat the mid to late 90s.
No argument.
That was a golden age of video games. But I don't know. I think, like I said, I think if he thinks that he can accomplish something, my problem is how AAA ever became a thing in the fucking first place. It should never have been. That's part of the reason I go back that as far as I do, is because I think that things were better when you had a myriad of unknown fucking studios just putting out stuff to see what would stick, and they were creative as fuck.
Before EA bought everybody, EA was the first one who was gobbling people up. When all these companies were individual companies and not smaller companies with a parent tentpole telling them what to do, and it started with EA. You're right. I agree with that assessment.
Yeah. So if you go back to, if he could take things to, for lack of a better non-anarchist term, like kind of a year zero in terms of game development companies, right? Let everybody, just clear the playing field, level it out, right? Now go compete, right? I think we could see something amazing emerge from that, but I don't think that that's where his head's at. I think his head's at like, yes, this sucks. We need to do something about this, but I want to make my thing that I want to do about it the only thing. Like kind of like the whole X being the everything app kind of deal. That's kind of where I see him going with this in his head.
Do you
It's like
think-
we can provide everything for everybody and screw competition.
You say that. Do you think then he wants to make it a streaming service game?
Probably live service. Yeah.
I don't like that at all.
No, me
That-
neither.
I would-
I
I would not
fucking
like
hate
that.
live service.
I mean, like Drew says, keep it physical. Give me my physical option.
I miss split screen when I'm playing with my friends.
I don't miss split screen.
Well, you're a pussy because you didn't drink from a hose. So.
Or eat Pop-Tarts.
Now Drew's added Pop-Tarts to the whole goddamn thing. Now it's Pop-Tarts and hose drinking.
I could just see he's all, mommy dearest, will you make me a Pop-Tart? She's all like, hold on, I'll have the chef make you a pastry from
Gee, you just
hand."
run down to the kitchen.
Yeah.
I hate my lord.
Ring the bell. Do you have an intercom? Does your house have an intercom? That old school one? That's a yes.
No. It was my stepdad's house, and it was a very, very old house, and it did have a broken intercom system that didn't work.
Stepdad, you mean Papa?
I hate my lore that's building around this shit. So
You should never have told us about that shit, man.
You know, he would have like fucked it up. Like, remember 40-year-old versions where they're like the tit, and he's like, it feels like a bag of sand, and he couldn't describe it because he's never felt the tit. It'd be the same thing where all like hose water's gray, and he's all, yeah, it has that sweet taste. That
it's like when you're talking about sweet taste, it tastes like tetanus and dirt.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, it tastes like sugar and candy cane.
Hey, I don't lie. I never lie. I will take my my lumps.
Oh, this is good lore. That's good lore.
Anyway, yeah. Listen, I got to give you guys something to work with, okay?
Just be glad we're not going the Jewish route like Dermy.
Listen, whatever.
Adam, you're like Samuel Tarley, where your parents were highborn and then they kicked you out for being a nerd.
Listen, I come from a nerdy background, okay? No one kicked me out for being
Oh, that's beautiful, Drew.
We're watching Game of Thrones. It's on my top of mind right now.
Listen. Only part of this makes it into the edit for tomorrow, so cuts off at a certain point.
It's gonna be clipped out and highlighted.
You hear that? He's
Listen,
gonna censor us.
No, I will clip that part out. It'll go in the clip reel because Drew doesn't have any clip reel stuff yet, so we got to get some Drew. Drew got a solid hit on me there, so that gets to go in there.
That was solid, dude.
That's a solid hit.
I thought we were gonna be talking about Captain America, so I made the meme. That's what I needed the picture for.
No,
I talked about that movie so much.
I put it in the thread.
I've been talking about it since Friday. I've talked about it all weekend. I'm not talking about that shit anymore.
See, I haven't been on any shows.
Bad movie. It's just
so
bad.
You left Ballbusters before we talked about it. That's not my fault. Point is, though, back onto this. If he decides to go to make it a streaming route like the Stadia and that kind of crap to do his version of that, that would be bad in my opinion. That'd be a bad idea. That is not where gaming needs to go back to. Yes, digital is here to stay because Steam exists. It's not going anywhere. But I don't have it with me, but you can see it. I prefer to buy a physical copy if I can get it. I want my disc, so I want to be able to hold it in my hand. I want to be able to hold on to it. Something that no one can take away from me. Something that can delete it. So
alter it exactly.
So I want the option to keep my physical media. And if Elon, who is the same guy, let's remember, Elon's the same guy who wants to put a chip in our head. Okay, I'm not down with that either.
Where do you think he wants you playing these games?
Don't say that. Don't fucking say that, dude. Augmented reality. I am not into augmented reality. No.
No, here's my take: is
okay,
this is just going to be another part of the everything app, the X, everything.
Probably
So
it'll
it's just-
probably be tied into it. Yeah, like a satellite
it's
operation.
another piece of the puzzle where all these different technologies, the Teslas, the SpaceX, the Twitter X, all these things are just gonna
Starlink.
add up. Yeah, Starlink, Neuralink. He's just building it. He's playing the long game here. Everyone,
Yeah,
sees
the
it in a
long game
different
ends with
kinda
him
way.
being king of Mars.
Yep. Oh, PayPal and all these and that, work on NASA. Whether it's good or bad, like it's yet to be seen. You could have a ton of people, 10 different people in the same chat and think he's good or bad on a different day. Depending on what's going on.
Yeah, I'm one of those. I go either way depending on what the topic is.
I'm same here.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna be a simp. But
I'm with you. Like keep physical media, keep a version of it. Because that way all this stuff it slows down. I remember when like 64, like Super Nintendo came out, then 64. It's like, wow, that was a huge jump in 4 years or whatever it was. And then it was PlayStation where it's like now it's on a disc. And then then it's getting more like 3D play. And then nowadays it's beyond measure. So yeah, if we could slow it down at all by still have a hard drive on the, because like what PlayStation was it's coming out without a hard drive. Am I saying that right? A disk drive.
Well, that's the possibility. I equate that they tried that as a trial balloon and it got shot down hard.
It's just a computer then. It's just a block.
Well, that's the problem. I mean, I purposely got
it's just a hard drive in a way.
I got a disk drive here.
Modem.
I didn't want just the digital PS5. I wanted one with a disc. I had a friend who wanted the digital one. He's tired of having disc cases and disc upon disc. He's tired of physical media. He just wants it on digital. There are people like that. You and I, we're on the
they're going to live in the pods and eat the bugs. They're
Yeah.
going to be fine just with their, injections of Doritos and, game fuel and, their bodies just like deteriorate while they're connected. But that's why you got to have both worlds. You got to have the physical media where you go out and you can't even buy it really at Best Buy anymore.
Oh, you can't. No. And even
Best Buy is just like done.
The prices always sucked anyway. Best Buy, they were terrible.
Yeah,
there's no deal there.
I would go to Best Buy and see what it like felt like, and then I'd order it on Amazon, or wherever, and then get it for a lot cheaper.
Oh yeah. I mean, if I'm not streaming a game, if I don't plan on streaming it, I will wait until it gets like a 10, 20, 10, 15, even $20 price drop on Amazon, and then I'll buy it.
Yep.
Because I will wait for that discount. It's only if I'm streaming a game that I'll buy it out of the gate, and maybe through super chats I'll be able to recoup a little bit of it. But no, I'm with you. I want that physical copy. I want to hold it in my hand. I want to put it in there. I want to have the freedom to take it out and put it away. I don't want to be controlled by anybody. I don't want it to. Let's say there's a problem with the hard drive and something gets deleted. Oh, sorry. And this is happening with some people's stored data on games.
That's what I heard. Some people's accounts got closed because whatever the game. I'm kind of just grasping at straws here from what I heard.
Well, not just I'm talking in general with these digital
but
from Steam and everything.
Company goes under, and you have an account. You downloaded that. You put in your own money, and you have something on their space or whatever, and then they go away, or some other company buys them, and then it's like you put $2,000 in this and nothing.
Yeah, I mean that's one of my. I mean, listen, I like my PS5. I've been very happy with it for the past couple of years. But my one beef is that the hard drive space is only 1 terabyte. It's not that large. So I have a library of some digital games which I bought because they were a better price than the physical one, and I was trying to save some money. Or if I had a massive hard drive, I would have every single game downloaded on there right now. But I don't. What happens if something happens to the PlayStation Network and I can't get my game anymore? If for some reason I want to replay the game, I don't always want to replay, but for some reason
anything can go wrong in that point.
Yeah,
but when it's yours, when you can hold it, when you can put it into a case or a safe or whatever you want.
I mean,
that's what somebody else said.
Oh yeah, that all those games. That's all games right there on that shelf. And that's just my modern stuff. What's left of my old school collections. It's in a box in a closet.
Yeah, online it could be hacked, it could be lost, it could be deleted. One of a million things that are out of your control.
Yeah. Or what if it needs to connect in order to do
Or
something?
they want to change it. They want to go in and tweak it. Like,
Yeah.
You know.
Well,
How
perfect
long
example.
until-
Perfect example. Those of us who are playing Solaris, they're coming out with 4.0 later this year. And it's going to revamp the entire game for normies and the Chinese. And it's going to fuck us all over because Steam's current version, you can't really, you have to do some trickery on your Steam to keep an old version or revert back to it.
Yep.
They don't make it easy for you. So because it's a digital game through Steam, we're going to be fucked if we want to keep playing, if we can't revert it. And I think Kel figured out a way to do it, and we'll worry about that in 4 or 5 months when we have to worry about it. But they're taking the game out of your hands if it's working for you in a way you don't want it to change, and they're going to make you go forward.
Well, that's
and
the
that's
problem,
that's
isn't
the
it?
digital age. That's the digital age.
Yep. It's
Yeah,
gonna be
that-
coerced.
that-
It's gonna be like you gotta like opt out of doing a certain thing or an
Mhm.
automatic purchase of the next version of the game or the third party. You know, it's gonna be a weird thing that it's just so out of the
Yeah, and
normal.
the opt-out option is going to be buried in some fucking innocuous-looking email that you'll never see. You know,
And
that,
then they're
like,
probably taking your data at the same time as
Yeah.
you're playing the game somehow.
you know, but that's the problem, isn't it? Is that they're when you're talking about this 4.0 Solaris thing, they're not giving you the option to update to a simplified version of the game. They're just
It's
making
automatic.
you do it.
I mean, I have automatic updates turned off right now, but it's you want to play the game, you have to update it. Sorry. So if Elon goes this route, that would be bad for gaming. We like Elon's idea. Let's get the wokeness out of it. Let's get the agenda out of it. But if there's no solid evidence. We're theorizing here. Remember that. If those people are going to whine at us right now, we're theorizing about this based upon what we know of Elon and what his tendencies are. If he goes the lack of physical media route, if maybe now that's saying if he makes the game, if he's just the publisher studio and other people are making it, that's different. If he's not creating it and he gives them the option, physical and digital, then that's up to the people who are making it to do that. But if he forces an idea of everything digital download through X or something like that, XAI studio, that would be a problem.
It'll be through
'Cause-
the export that's in the back of your head.
Oh God. And even then, it's all going to be then that excludes console gaming. Then he's going to be leaving console gamers out in the cold.
Yeah, it'll be the
That's
death
my
of
thing.
console gaming.
Yeah.
And it will
But I'm just gonna keep buying
probably
them.
severely limit PC gaming.
Go
I
ahead,
was at a garage sale last summer and I'm just went to check it out. Didn't know what was happening. I was like the first one there at like noon. And the lady, and I'm like, oh, I see a Super Nintendo with Donkey Kong Country in there with a controller connected. I'm like, oh, how much for that? And then she's like, oh, I don't think we're selling that. I don't think it works. And I'm like, can I buy it either way?
Yeah,
And
I
she's
think
like-
I could find somebody to fix
She's
this.
like, yeah, 50 cents. And I'm like, here's $2. Like, buy. Like, I need to get out of here before you
before your kid shows up and makes it hard.
And they want more or they don't want to sell it. That's what
Yeah.
that was my fear, was like the kid was gonna be like, no, I want to keep that. I'm like, nope, this is mine. I'm gonna give you more than you asked for.
I paid my $2, bitch.
Yeah. No, every time I find physical media games, you know, anything good, is I just pick it up because like why not? I could spend that money anywhere else, throwing that away somewhere stupid, some fast food or Taco Bell. But if I can buy a whatever 64 or Genesis,
If you've got the storage space to keep it, great. I mean, I have nowhere to keep anything. I'm on a serious trying not to accumulate any more things right now if I don't have to. I mean, buying a small game disc is fine. I'll stack it somewhere, but if you can find it, I mean, great. I mean, I still have. You haven't heard the story. I've still got my original Genesis that I bought when I was a kid with my own little kid money. We're talking the original year. What was it?
16 bits.
Yeah, the original 16-bit. Like we're talking the original one, not the second gen one. The
Yep, the
original
older one.
Genesis. It's
The
the
original
it's the first
Genesis
gen.
was like 1990, I think.
First gen Genesis console. It's in my closet. It's attached to my second gen Sega CD because my first gen Sega CD broke and it wouldn't open up anymore. That's why I say the second gen Sega CD with the pop top is superior because you can get your disc back out. There was a disc trapped in there when I extended it to get
Nice.
fixed, and they couldn't fix it. So I still have my original Genesis that I bought my own little kid money in there. So
this is a good time to promote my channel while we're on topic, if you don't mind.
Yeah, I'll go for it.
Yeah, I'll just share my screen real quick. I just added a photo to the channel.
And put the link because YouTube is not bringing it up when we when
Yeah,
I'm looking for it.
If you
Put the
drop that in the private chats.
drop it in private chat.
Oh,
and
okay. Am I sharing it right now though? No.
Yeah, I got it. Yeah, here we go. Whoop, I got. Whoop, what happened? Where'd it go? Oh, I you killed it.
Yeah.
Bring it back up.
But yeah, Physical Media Warriors. Basically, I just started the channel, but plan on having a lot of different types of shows. Some where you're just gonna grab something you have, a DVD, a VHS, 64 game, and just tell me a story about what that, what memories you have from it. Do you still watch it? When was the first time you watched it? Just kind of, it's like a time capsule in a way. These old CDs, cassettes, VHS, anything. Dan Vask does a lot of cool
Retro gaming,
media. The old computer games, the big box stuff. He's big into that one. So yeah, I'm just gonna have different people on. We're gonna have a conversation. I'll do some ranking shows I want to get into. Ranking whatever 64 games.
Yeah, I caught
like
last
that.
night's show. It was pretty good.
Yeah, we did that rank.
There we go. I got it.
So
all right, here we go.
that's the new channel. Check it out. The people I have newly subscribing, I'll make sure to help promote your channels, and so we all get some good viewers.
Yep. And there you go. And in just a moment, let me just switch my windows right here. You can, where is it? There we go. If you guys want the quick link, I'll put it
and it's just YouTube at Physical Media Warriors.
You can, as soon as it loads up, the link is in the description below.
I'll throw it in here too.
There it is,
Cool,
right
man.
there.
Thanks
there
for
we go.
letting me put that out there.
Oh yeah, man. Hey, dude.
Yeah, I've been working on gaining skills, working with you guys for the last couple of weeks, months. Devil, I think maybe going on a year. We've been doing different shows, so it's been a while.
All right, so link to Drew's new channel is in the description below. It'll be there every week now, so that you guys can go there. So head on over there. But that's the point. Physical media has to be there. I don't think physical media is going to go away. I don't. I think it's going to I think it's going to be a resurgence.
New people are doing vinyls. So smaller, I don't know if bigger bands, but I've seen some smaller bands putting their music out on a vinyl. And so it's more like a collector thing than you're going to listen to it, but you could listen to it too.
Well, there's been a lot of older vinyls have had new pressings released here too. Like I picked up a copy of a vinyl copy of Thriller by Michael Jackson at fucking Walmart like 4 years ago because I want my kid to listen to it on vinyl down the road when she's older.
That's a good point.
Yeah, and it's one of the greatest fucking albums of the 20th century.
Yeah.
So I was like, I couldn't pass up that opportunity. I currently don't have a turntable. Needles are kind of a bitch to get because there was a 20-year period where they weren't making new ones, but they are now. They're making them again because something else is making a resurgence. Our turntables are these like digital sound devices that have like CDs in them. They get, if you're really lucky, they'll have dual cassette players on them. They'll have AM, FM radio. They've got satellite radio, but they also come equipped with a turntable and stereo speakers of very, very nice quality, usually in kind of a stained wood sort of frame kind of thing. I got one for one of my kids a couple of years ago. It's something to listen to old vinyl on, and it's fantastic. My mom's got vinyl up the wazoo in storage. Like we're talking the original soundtracks for the original release of the original soundtracks for the Star Wars trilogy.
Yeah,
right? We're talking. She's got the original music from Star Trek: The Motion Picture on vinyl. She's got a fuckload of John Denver albums, Tchaikovsky, Rachmaninoff, Beethoven.
Dude.
I mean, nothing sounds better than vinyl. I'm totally with you on this, Drew.
I was never a vinyl person. That was never my thing. But my collections from my parents, there were boxes of that shit that was carried around for years. They've since been lost. They're no hang. But my original my biological dad, he was into jazz, and he had a massive collection. So there, but physical media. Thing about physical media is that when you have that tactile connection to it, you hold it in your hand. It's real. It's something. It means something.
Yeah.
And you connect to it. You hold on to it. It's like, man, yeah, this is mine. And I have a memory attached to this in many different ways, especially if you're talking with music, with a vinyl. For some people to take that record out, you hold it, maybe you flip it between your fingers, and to gently put it on the turntable and drop down the needle and just sit back as it plays. That's a thing for a lot of people. That's a whole action that you take to invest yourself in the music. Or when back in the day, Nintendo cartridges. You take that cartridge, you're blowing on it, you stick it in there, you're doing all this stuff. But it's like you're interacting with it to make it a part of the routine to play it. It's a thing. It's real.
Yeah. What's funny is they don't sell this pack anymore. It's a 3-pack of the Captain America trilogy.
I have the Iron Man one of that one.
Yeah. But what's funny now is that was a point in time. Like they're not going to make this trilogy anymore because now they're going to say that there's 4. And so it's like, this is like unique now to me because it's like, you're like, yep, there's only 3 Captain America movies. I got them all 3 right here. That's it.
Yep.
The rest is fan fiction.
Yep, it is. It's been fan fiction since 2020. But yeah, so when you take that piece of physical thing and you make it a part of your life, you carry it with you forever. And that's why if Elon hypothetically goes down the route to remove the physical thing, if he makes it a part of the X everything, where you're just going to download your games and play it, or you're going to have it on a cloud gaming, stream gaming, that's going to destroy a part of gaming if you lose that ownership and physical aspect completely. And like Samuel said, it will kill console gamings, which is not right.
It'll kill everything. Yeah, look, it's. Yeah, that's kind of where I'm thinking he's going to go with this, though.
I
think
not.
that because not to get too far off base with this, but Elon Musk is a transhumanist. His ultimate goal is to digitize people.
Elon has the best intentions, but the best intentions are the road to hell is paved with best intentions.
I'm not saying he's doing it from a place of malice. But you would know. But I don't think he's doing it from a place of malice at all. I honestly think that the man believes he's doing it better for everybody. I just see it ending in disaster down the road.
I don't disagree with you. I think that I think that Elon is a brilliant individual. I think that he's done a lot of good for the world, but if left unchecked, he could do just as much bad.
Mm-hmm. In a heartbeat.
Yeah,
and it starts here. It starts with digital media.
Yeah, so we'll have to wait and see if he just makes himself a publisher that gives other smaller things a chance to put their stuff out there. Then great. And that's about as far as I hope it goes. That's about as far as I hope it goes. All right, I got nothing else. You guys got anything you want to toss out there?
I had something that I posted in the fucking group chat last week, but I can't remember what it is. And I don't want to risk looking it up on my phone right now because
I can scroll back. Not much activity in the room. Let's see. Last week? That's not you.
Yeah,
did you post that? Oh, that's the trailer for that Schwarzenegger Lord of the Rings thing? No,
it's not that far back. Good God. Oh, no, it is further back than that. No, that was just something that was funny, man. I thought it was
hilarious. Okay. Ultimate Gaming?
Yeah, I don't know. It's not that important if I can't remember it, man. But,
okay. All right. All right, then we're over 2 hours. Well, we're way over 2 hours. Well, just over 2 hours. It's late. It's good enough. I'm happy closing down. Let's say our goodbyes. And I'm going to attempt to go to sleep like a normal human being again. I know, but it feels good to try and get sleep. I know. Don't look at me like that. Devil, what's your week look like?
Tomorrow we are finishing up the Keanu Reeves get ranked list that got cut off because of the tree falling on a power cord.
Is that what happened?
Yeah, literally a tree, one house down, collapsed, ripped the power cord out of the thing, and we had no power till like 3:30 in the morning. So I was just sitting here under like 7 blankets, shivering for hours.
Hibernate till it was over. That's what you did.
Yeah, with no power. Like my phone was practically out of battery. So I'm like, it's the dark ages.
Just go to it's a show like that. I just go to sleep. It's like fuck it. I'm just gonna go to sleep.
It was too cold to sleep. Shit on that, man. I was
I
about
might
to
not
start.
wake up again.
I was about to start drawing on the wall in fucking mud, like caveman style. Like,
Adam's
Where
like,
did
why
you get?
call you Butler?
Where did you get? God damn it! I never had a butler.
geez, get on your hamster wheel. I need electricity.
All right.
But
What
yeah,
else?
so check that out, and then of course check out the pub Friday going into Saturday, and here for Ballbusters 100th episode, we are doing a Pub Busters, but I believe Sam and Abyssal Musings is coming in too, so it'll be Abyssal Pub Busters.
3 weeks.
Yep, in 3 weeks. So get ready for that. We're gonna put ourselves through hell and embarrass ourselves. And
Listen, you can't get worse than Dermy pouring hot wax on himself twice last week.
oh, he best not do that. Yeah, he best not do that again. That was just
Well, that was the
nasty.
Valentine's Day special. Static is actually to blame for that one. He made
Yeah, originally he wanted to pour hot mayonnaise on himself, but we said that's just not happening. Yeah, he said I have so much of it. No, so yeah, check that out. We'll be putting ourselves through hell. Nothing as bad as the year before. I'm not gonna eat the hot chip or shave my head or, but hopefully we'll get Dermy to get that dolphin tattoo on his ass cheeks or some shit in Vegas. Something embarrassing.
That's a high price tag. That's a high price tag.
Yeah.
Okay. Drew, what's your week look like?
Yeah. Not too much on Sunday, like I mentioned earlier in the show. This was our second episode, or it's gonna be our third episode of Pop Culture Patriots. Horny Alf, myself, and Tiny But Fierce are the co-hosts, and then we'll have on one or two guests and maybe a regular. So it's a pretty fun show. Just go over the week with pop culture and in all different ways: movie, film, TV shows, comics, novels. We jump into different IPs, so it's all around a pretty good time. And it's basically looking at currently going on and flipping back to when things are good. So that's kind of our show.
What time is it?
It's on Sundays at 7 Eastern, 7654.
Okay. Samuel, if the shitternet isn't eating you alive.
Oh, yeah, I'm hoping to at least get a better signal for the rest of the week. I don't know. This is why I didn't do a show earlier today. I was thinking about doing a solo show earlier today, but it wasn't going to work out. But maybe next week. I have to do one before the end of February, so we'll see how that shakes out. But otherwise, yeah, if I can make shit work, I've got some stuff I got to move around, but I should be there tomorrow on Beelzehub for Get Ranked for the continuation of the Keanu Reeves thing. And then we got Abyssal Musings on Friday on my channel, Beelzepub right after that on Devil's channel, Screaming into the Void 12 hours after that on my channel, and I'm over on Exile Lines 2. Then I'm back here next Monday for Mellow Mondays. So it's same shit, different week, but swing on by, hang out.
As for myself, this week we've got to finish up Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. I'm an episode behind because of the way Black Falcon Captain America all played out. I got to catch up on that tomorrow. Then we got the completion of that this week and its terribleness. Who knows what else will happen this week? So stay tuned for other reviews and takes and all kinds of stuff. Ballbusters on Friday. I have no idea what's going on there. Although I will say I can say that we will be talking a spoiler-filled discussion of Cobra Kai season 6.
Oh,
I have finished it. Recommend watching it. It's a good time. It was good. It sticks to landing.
I finished it the other night. Yeah.
I'll probably start it.
Yeah.
In the next couple days.
Yeah.
I need to watch that tomorrow.
Yeah, so we will be talking a spoiler-filled discussion on Friday. This week on Drive-In, to wipe out the bad taste of Black Falcon Captain America, Winter Soldier.
Yes.
Gonna do Winter Soldier.
Did I say you can include me for that one?
If you want to come on, you're on.
Yeah,
You're
I'd
on.
love
All right.
to.
All right, Drew's going to join us. Drew's joining us
I
for
put it
Winter
as
Soldier.
GOAT in our ranking.
Yep. I always get what I want to goat, don't I, Devil?
Somehow, I did put that meme in on the thread though.
Okay. I always get what I want in the goat. Anyway, so join
you
us.
do.
Drew's going to be there. Jed's going to be there. We'll see who else might show up. I haven't publicly put out the word yet, but it's going to be a good time. 6 p.m. Eastern on mine and Jed's channel. Then Saturday, I don't know what's going to go on there. Sunday roundtable. We'll probably be talking more Black Falcon Captain America box office and all that shit surrounding it. And next week, Mellow Mondays, right back here. And of course, next week, the following week as well, it's end of the month. So that means Anime Odyssey. And when we do get around to the Ballbusters 100 that weekend, the next day, March 8th, I'll be doing a 12-hour stream for reasons I will make apparent in the coming weeks. I'm just going to say it's going to happen. Be ready for it. And that will also be combined with that evening in order to kind of get me through the full 12 hours so that I can break the stream cleanly. Because you guys know when you do the YouTube thing, you run 12 hours, you can go longer, but you lose the chat. So you want to stop at a certain point and start a fresh one. So I'll be starting a fresh one because it's Ballbusters gaming time again. That's right. March 8th, we're doing Among Us. It's that time where we're all going to yell at each other and accuse each other of being sus. And I will, if the opportunity arises, definitely throw Jeremy under the bus again, because guess what? I don't care. It'll happen. So join us for Ballbusters Gaming on March 8th alongside my 12-hour stream. And that's it. We're done. Thank you, everybody, for joining us this evening. We appreciate each and every one of you. Again, if you have not voted in the chat choice poll, link is pinned at the top of the discussion, or go to my community tab. It's there. It's visible. We thank you all. Everybody have a good Monday. Be safe out there. We'll see you next time. Until then, take it easy. Have a good night or day wherever you
And
may be.
remember, Adam ain't one of us.